Alrighty, folks, we are back with more Echo. Joining me, of course, is the wonderful Rowan.
Hello.
So, what is Echo, Rowan?
Echo is a furry visual novel dating sim that is very gay, except it's also psychological horror. You are Chase, the little otter you can see in the middle of the screen. He is a journalism major or something. I think that means he's studying at a uni in America. He is from ass end nowhere town, Echo, and he hates Echo. But he's going back there to do his school project. He's using this opportunity to meet up with his old group of friends who all used to also live in Echo. Some of them still do. You all have trauma about the lake where your childhood friend Sydney died. Spoiler alert, you killed him. You find that out in a couple of different routes. We're on the final route now, which is Jenna. So we've just diverged after the Riverside fight scene, and then we're going to go right into Jenna's route and see what the horrors of this route has in store for us.
Alright. So, what's the story so far?
You're Chase, you're going back to Echo, you're doing a project on the town on the mass hysteria that occurred in the late 1800s. Spoiler alert, the hysteria comes back due to something about the town. We're not quite sure what that is yet, but we're going to find out more about that in Jenna's route.
Alrighty.
But we do know it tends to bring up trauma of the past. We do know that it seems to run in circles, has something to do with secrets. There's something bad in the dirt, there's something bad in the air, and bad things happen and sprout seed in that bad dirt, and it just grows and grows and grows until eventually it all burns back down. That's what we're currently living through again. But this time we're also trying to fuck Jenna.
There's no bones
This
about it.
game
We
is
are
so
just gonna,
hard to talk about.
we are literally just doing this route to fuck Jenna. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Alright.
From what I know, her romance is actually optional. Like, you can just be good friends with her instead. So not to scare away a gay male audience. It's very funny. Boobs!
Alright, well, we will carry on from here then. I think that would be the one to go straight to Jenna, but we'll go from the fight scene and we'll just see the bit going down the hill towards Jenna.
Yep.
So, we have done Flynn's route, we've done Carl's route, we've done TJ's route, we've done Leo's route, we're just doing Jenna now. So let us get into it and follow Jenna.
Flynn has currently just called everyone out on their bullshit because you're all at the river, which is close by to the lake where the trauma happened, and he is not okay with that.
I watched Jenna's tail disappear through the sagebrush. They're headed down the same trail as I had used to get to Lake Emma. TJ did seem to head off in that direction while we were fighting, though. I can't imagine he's gone to the lake. I should go with him to help find the links. I'm also a little worried about Leo. It's been a long time since I've seen him that pissed. When I get there, I find Leo leaning back with his rear up against the boulder on the shore. Bittersweet memories flood in. That rock almost has as much staple in my childhood as the actual lake is. It's weird like that. Every memory I have of this place is dreamy and gold-tinged, but always has a hint of sadness about it no matter what the situation is. Jenna's standing in front of Leo, her arms folded as she talks to him. I can see in his face his posture is sagging, his ears are down, looking way older than he actually is. I stand back for a while, feeling awkward about intervening at this point. Leo occasionally shakes his head, then takes out his phone to look at it. I can see Jenna getting annoyed, but then she says something and Leo turns his head to look back at me. I seize up for a second, but Jenna's beckoning me with her paw while Leo isn't looking. I start stumbling over the rocks towards him as Leo looks back at his phone and Jenna starts walking towards me.
Just talk to him, he'll listen to you.
We are going to stay with Jenna because we've done Leo's route already. I look towards Leo, hunched forward, ears down, looking like an angry gargoyle perched on the ledge of a church. Hold on, Jenna. I turn back around to face her. I look back over my shoulder at Leo, watching his ears flick towards us. I think Leo wants to be left alone. Jenna folds her arms and looks past me.
You sure? I thought you could get him to calm down.
I look at Jenna for a while, realising that I'd just rather talk to someone more collected rather than a big angry wolf. Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, alright. Should we head back then?
Okay. As we start disappearing into the sagebrush, I look back just in time to catch a glimpse of Leo looking over his shoulder. I look back down at the ground, wondering if it would have been a good idea to at least tell him that I felt like he needed time alone. I noticed Jenna looking around, her huge ears perked up wide like sails. What are you looking for?
TJ.
If it was up to me, I'd be leaving TJ alone as well, but Jenna always worried about him. I follow her through the brush in silence, unsure of what to say.
So why didn't you hand back with Leo?
I move along with her for a while, thinking it over. I don't know. When he's in a bad mood, he really only just good for a fight, you know? I catch up and start walking alongside her since I was starting to taste the dirt being kicked up by her feet. Yeah, I thought it would be a good idea to just let him cool down for a bit. I sort of envy the way she's dressed right now with her short shorts and tank top. Jeans don't exactly breathe well. I finally start to see her picnic again. Carl's still sitting in the lawn chair, his head hanging over the back, smoke wafting around him. Jenna stops and puts her paws on her hips, looking around. Where do you think he went?
There are many places he could have gone.
Her eyes seem to settle, and I follow her gaze to a clump of brush and trees next to the river. If TJ had anywhere to hide in the short amount of time that he did, that would be the only place he could have done it. Without a word, Jenna starts to head in that direction. I tag along awkwardly, kind of feeling like I'm invisible to her right now. As soon as we break through the brush, we spot TJ. I watch as Jenna immediately goes to his side and sits down. TJ's ears perk, but otherwise he doesn't look up. After a while, Jenna wraps an arm around TJ's shoulders and I hear him bristle for a second, and Jenna says something to him that I don't quite catch. Finally, he leans in and hugs her. I can hear him sniffling. I'm starting to feel like I'm intruding and I start to back away, but Jenna sees me and jerks her head.
Where are you going, Chase? Come here.
TJ pulls back from Jenna and starts wiping at his eyes.
Chase?
Yeah. I feel like TJ would be embarrassed to have me around, and he probably is, but Jenna's pretty insistent, so I move forward to stand next to them.
Yeah. Tired. I was just telling TJ about the time we used to float the river on the old inner tube.
I smile and sit down next to Jenna, stretching my legs out.
Do you remember that, Chase?
His voice is strained and a little crackly, but he seems to have things under control now. Do I? I always thought it was ridiculous to use one of those things when you could just float on your back.
Sorry we're not all living floaties like you, Chase.
We all sit there for a while, and now it isn't as awkward. I feel like if it was just me and TJ, things would be a lot more tense. Jenna has a way of making things feel natural and easy. It's like her confidence is a shield to all my weird, awkward stupidity. I hear TJ shift and snuffle as he wipes his face again.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean... Nope, you stop right there, TJ.
He does stop. It's hard not to stop when she's a tone like that.
Flynn is an absolute dick. Never let him affect... Never let him affect how you feel about things. He only thinks about himself and how he feels. Right, Chase?
I feel like this is just a little bit unfair to Flynn. Yeah, he was pretty selfish, but he did care about other people. At least, I think he does, even though he hardly ever admits to it. Probably best to agree with Jenna right now, though. Yeah, he's not thinking straight right now. I think coming here may have been a bad idea.
That really shouldn't matter. In fact, we probably should have gone to the lake. What happened happened, and there's not much we can do about it. Letting it absolutely rule our lives like this, to the point of preventing us from going to where we want to go, that's pretty messed up. We all went through it, and it was awful, but we stayed friends, and here we are. Maybe we should celebrate that instead of accusing each other of bullshit.
Yeah. Of course that's what Flynn had been saying. Of course what Flynn had been saying wasn't complete bullshit. None of us really know exactly what happened except TJ.
I didn't have any reason to come here, and if I had the same mindset as Flynn, I never would have.
TJ glances over at Jenna.
How are things with you and... my family? Same as it's been for the past 5 years. I don't know. Maybe you could try...
Jenna sighs deeply.
Sorry, I didn't mean... No, TJ, it's fine, it's just...
She seems to be thinking hard about what she's going to say. Man, the things Jenna could say about her family. I have too many bad memories about that.
That family is completely broken. Like, there's no fixing it. Going back there would just mean trouble, and I've learnt my lesson. With Adam and Dad gone, it's just my mum and Jeremy now. Anyway, not much of a family to go back to. Has your dad not... Has anyone seen him since? As far as I know, no. But I wouldn't really care if he is back. And if he really is missing, well, Mom never filed a missing persons report, so I guess it wouldn't matter. I'm sorry. Why? You're not the one who messed it all up.
TJ looks away, his ears down. Jenna sighs, puts an arm back round TJ's shoulder.
And here I am bringing everyone else down when the point is to make you feel better. Chase, remind us of something happy.
I jump, then scramble after being put on the spot. Remember when we called it Yeeyaw River?
I remember when you called it Eeyore, Chase. You had a bit of a speech impediment back then.
Yeah.
I remember that. It was kind of cute.
It's quiet for a moment, then Jenna gives TJ a little nudge.
So how's school going, TJ? It's not bad. I got accepted into the athletic training program, which is really cool because they're really selective. I think I'm one of 20 that they chose. Well, that's fantastic, TJ.
TJ smiles, though he's still looking at his feet.
Thanks. Hey, but you got into Western. I did?
I furrow my brow at that. Hey, come on, Weston is like the stereotypical best school in the country. She looks over at me and smiles.
It's great, I know. Just a lot of stress. Sometimes I'd like to get a break.
That was a little surprising to hear from Jenna. Usually she was so energized and had a get her done attitude about almost anything. That's why I always assumed she got into Weston in the first place. Maybe you should take a break then. Just kind of up to you, isn't it?
Just because I want to doesn't mean I need it. Hey, Tej, weren't you wanting to go hiking while we were here? Yeah, I know things are a bit bad right now, but it could be fun to go. Of course, TJ. I was planning to go with you anyway. Oh, cool.
At that point, all of TJ's gloomy demeanour disappears, his tail quirked and his ears raised up. Jenna looks sideways at me meaningfully. Yeah, I definitely didn't want to do that. No, I'm not even doing anything already. I'm sweating buckets and looking at shiny water longingly. I would have jumped in the water by now if TJ wasn't here. For some reason that would seem inappropriate. Right then I feel something pressed down hard on my paw, which is splayed out behind me. Looking over I see that Jenna has her paw and mine leaning on it. Oh, yeah, definitely I'm going.
Yes!
Jenna lifts her paw off mine and I gulp. It didn't really hurt, but something about her sudden touching me like that.
It's settled then. We should probably get back. We want to get a lot of rest before we hike tomorrow.
Tuesday.
So Jenna comes from a broken family. Like, she's an interesting character because she does really put on a front.
Yes.
Like, she really masks everything bad going on in her life. Deliberately. Like, she's doing fucking psychology, of course she is.
Yeah.
So where are we heading, TJ?
Jenna sounds like she's in a much better mood than yesterday. We all are, really.
The canyon. Echo Canyon, more specifically. You ever been?
He looks at both of us with a grin.
Nope.
No, me neither. His ears fall a little.
Well, you know the town is named after it, right? How have you not been there before?
I shrug and Jenna laughs.
Because you have to walk through 3 miles of snake-infested desert to get there.
That makes me bristle, because there definitely are snakes here. I can't help but scan the brush. Oh, sorry, I can't.
You really shouldn't worry about them. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. And they do have a rattle, so just listen for her.
Jenna grins and looks straight at me.
Yeah, you're right. The most dangerous animal around here you'll find in these parts is the blonde.
An involuntary shiver works its way up my spine. Jenna? TJ frowns.
That's even less likely, Jenna.
Great. Now that you've said it, I'm going to be uptight for the rest of the hike.
You're welcome. Alright, let's get going. We want to make it to the top by noon.
A few hours in and TJ's quite a bit ahead of us. I feel a little bit bad about it, but I think he likes it that way. Probably wants to think after yesterday. Jenna and I walk side by side and she's making sure that I drink water the entire time.
You should be done with that by now.
She gestures at my water bottle, which is still half full. Come on, I've had like 3 already. I take a sip and almost snort water as Jenna tips up the bottom of the bottle.
Hey, I made TJ promise here. You're an otter. You need it.
Blah! Stop! I cough a few times, water running down my chin and chest. Even though it feels good, I wipe it away with a forearm. Jenna chuckles before we start walking again.
Actually, you don't really need more water than me or TJ, as he could tell you. The water thing is actually more of a psychological need as opposed to a physical one.
Oh yeah? I look over at my wet camera bag, which definitely didn't need water.
Yeah, you know, back when there weren't really back when there weren't really any ethics in research, they separated an otter part from water, never allowed it to swim.
That makes me pause. Technically, in this day and age, otters don't really need to swim. A trip to the supermarket gets all that done. There's something about not being allowed in the water to feel cool, isolated space that I so long to be in. What happened?
Depressed, disengaged, neurotic in general. Then when they were done, they set him loose into the world. He killed himself a few years later.
Joyful. Wow.
Yep. I mean, ethics are in place now, of course. Not that the psychological association is any better. You probably heard about their role in the whole advanced interrogations controversy.
Like the waterboard and stuff?
Yeah, but it really makes you realize how powerful the brain is. It's not all physical necessities.
Must have been pretty awful for him that he killed himself. I can't imagine. Talking about offing oneself, though, it's got me interested about Jenna's brother. So,
You wanted to talk about Adam?
no. Well, I sort of did, but I don't think it'd be appropriate at all. I was just wondering, are you gonna go see your family sometime during the trip? We talked about it earlier, but I guess didn't really give an answer. Jenna snorts loudly, tossing her head back.
You're kidding, right?
I feel my cheeks flush, knowing that I might have said something really offensive. I'm not really in tune with how things are with Jenna's family. Leo and sometimes Flynn dealt with it most of that. I mean, aren't you a little bit curious?
Curious is the wrong word.
Oh?
Maybe morbidly curious? Anyway, they haven't bothered contacting me since I left, so as far as I can tell, they're not missing me. Guys, there's a giant dip over here, so watch your step.
TJ's quite a bit ahead of us now. I don't even see him anymore around all the boulders and brush. I pick up the pace and Jenna follows. Well, do you miss them? She doesn't say anything for a while, which tells me she's really thinking about it.
No.
She says it, finally surprising me a little with her bluntness.
At least not my mum and dad. Not even Adam.
Really? Jenna shifts around, so she grabs another water bottle out of the backpack and hands it to me.
Adam, he had problems. Mum and dad fucked him up, of course, but he took it out on me. He did some messed up stuff.
I debate whether or not I should ask what exactly messed up stuff was, but I'm way too scared of what it might be.
Jeremy, though? I guess I wouldn't mind seeing him again.
I give her an incredulous look. See, Jeremy's the one I would have thought you wouldn't want to talk to.
Yeah. Now, Clint is the one that fucked up Jeremy, but he was a really good person before then.
Jeremy was, as far along as I can remember, a royal dick, bully to me, TJ and Carl. Along with Clint, he terrorised our childhood. That is until Leo showed up. I'll never forget about the day Leo rammed Jeremy's head into a tree and punched Clint so many times in the face his eyes swelled almost shut. Of course, Leo never got any trouble because neither of their parents gave a shit.
Environment is really important to how you develop as a person.
I think for a second. Well, you turned out alright.
environment and temperament makes us who we are. Some people can just take more.
It's clear that her temperament was a lot stronger than mine, whatever it was. If I had parents like that, I don't know how I would have survived. I take another gulp of water, and it's then that I realise how badly I need to pee. Looking off to the side, I spot a rather large boulder surrounded by sagebrush. Hey, you go on ahead. I've got to take a piss. Jenna quirks her muzzle and folds her arms.
Sure you don't want me to wait up for you? I'm kidding.
She turns and starts walking up the trail.
Watch out for spiders.
Sometimes Jenna's jokes are so dry that I had a hard time figuring out if she really was joking or not. I dodge my way around the sagebrush and tumbleweeds towards the boulder and start to piss. Jenna really is an enigma. She's nice enough and smart, but she has this edge about her that always has me on guard for some reason. 4 prickles in the back of my neck. I'm not sure what it is, but something isn't right. I look left and right in the small chance that someone else is coming up the trail. It's a weird feeling like this in broad daylight though. I normally don't get this so uptight unless it's dark. I hear it's the opposite with species that can see better at night. Something's watching you from the brush. A shiver runs right up my spine. I tremble under its influence. As if on its own accord, my head whips around, immediately focusing on the clump of sagebrush 30 feet away. And there, right in the middle, someone's face is staring at me. I can only call it a face because there are 2 eyes and mouth, but I've never seen anything like it. It's flat, wide, stretched out, sagging where a chin should be. I can't help myself. I yelp loudly and stumble to the side and whip my body around to defend myself, somehow conscious of the fact that my dick's still out. And then it all comes together. I stare for a few seconds longer and force out a tight, high-pitched laugh. Are you fucking kidding me? It's a rock. A white rock. The sagebrush twigs have fallen over it perfectly good features similar to that of a face.
What do you want?
I sigh and rub my own face with both paws, feeling my heart hammering in my chest. I always did this shit to myself. As I lower my paws, I notice a wet streak across the left side of my pants. I hadn't finished peeing yet. Fucking son of a bitch. I hiss and turn back to the boulder, trying to work myself into a peeing mood again. Finally, as I start finishing up, the prickling feeling in my neck starts up again. I try to ignore it, but it's getting worse and worse. I shake my hips around a few times and zip up and start back up around the boulder. So at that point I give a quick glance back at the brush. The rock isn't there anymore. I stare, one paw on the boulder, feeling my fur starting to bristle out all over my body. What? Maybe it's because I'm at a different angle now. The feeling of being watched is overpowering though, and it's coming from the side of the boulder I was just at. I look up the trail but don't see TJ or Jenna at all. I can't even hear them. I look back towards the boulder, wondering if I'm losing my mind. Gritting my teeth, I turn away and start back up the trail at a brisk walk, knowing that I'm acting just like a little kid. Despite that, I feel myself start to panic a little, and soon enough I'm running up the trail and not looking back.
We made it.
He says it, even though he's already sitting down on what looks like a rock bench. He's probably got here a good 10 minutes before us. I'm sweating all over the place, but Jenna seems fine. It's embarrassing because it's only now that I realise she's been hanging back because of me.
Group hug.
TJ stands and holds his paws out. I want to protest, but that's how gross I must look, but Jenna sort of forces me into it as TJ walks up to us.
This was a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for coming. Well, we're glad you had fun, even if you weren't able to keep up.
As we lean back from the hug, I see Jenna's nose wrinkle. I press my tail a little closer to my rear.
Alright, let's see.
We sit down on the rock bench and TJ starts pulling out sandwiches out of a soft cooler. He'd been so excited about our trip that he'd gone to the convenience store by himself at 5 in the morning and made us all sandwiches. It's actually pretty good too. There's an avocado on it, even if it's packaged mushy kind according to him. We eat in silence for a while. Looking over, I can see Jenna's deep in thought, chewing slowly. What's
Wait,
up?
do Americans package avocado in plastic? Like slices of it or something?
I imagine so, going by that statement.
What? Just buy an avocado! Just buy a fucking fruit and cut it! What the fuck, America?
Cat is adorable.
I'm gonna pet the cat to comfort myself. Hi, Holly.
What's up?
That's horrifying.
She shrugs, then swallows.
Just thinking about how this might be the last time we really get to hang out is all. That's kind of a sad thing to say. Well, think about it. I graduate in a few months, and then I'll be off to the other side of the country. Then you'll graduate, Chase, and I don't think you'll be sticking around here.
Maybe.
And you, TJ, you might just leave the country.
That would make sense. TJ's parents are back in his hometown.
I think we'll get together again. It's just a matter of planning it right. It might be a while, but it'll happen, and there's always the internet. I'm just saying, I hope Flynn can get over himself before the end of our trip. I don't think this should be our big send-off.
We've still got time. I lean back and drape my arms over the back of the bench, closing my eyes. I really want to take my shirt off though, the fabric is almost soaked through and clinging to a really gross way to my fur. The sun is beating down on me, shining bright red through my eyelids. If only there was a pond up here, I'd be able to sink to the bottom. The sun reduces to a shimmering silver. My type really isn't built for this kind of weather. I feel Jenna shift next to me and suddenly I feel her nose up against my ear. I shiver a little. What the hell was she doing? I start turning my head towards her.
Chase, do you need some musk off?
I open my eyes and squint against the brightness of the sun. What?
I said...
She leans forward, obviously not wanting TJ to hear. She laughs a little before she starts again.
You're smelling a little strong.
Instantly my eyes burn and I scoot away, instinctively lowering my eyes. Shit, sorry.
No, it's alright. You didn't know we were going on a hike before you packed. But I have some.
TJ's looking over at us curiously as he nibbles on his salad wrap, ears perked, I don't know why. But I glare at him, already humiliated enough. He frowns.
What?
Nothing, Jenna's just telling me I stink.
Oh.
Jenna laughs and reaches over to her backpack. She opens the top zipper, talking in normal voice now.
It's the female brand, so it's not as strong, but it should get the job done.
Thanks. I grumble and snatch it from her paw, instantly feeling shitty about it because I know she's just trying to be nice. Even though TJ and Jenna are probably the nicest people in a little group, it's still fucking embarrassing. I'd actually prefer Flynn's ribbing about now. I stalk off around a rather large brush and pull down my pants. The can is pink and covered in flowers. Great. I grab my tail and yank
it. Oh, the dysphoria!
I grab my tail and yank it up before giving my ass a good liberal dose of girl smells. Of course, if I'd known I'd be doing anything so sweat-inducing, I'd have brought my own boy-smelling brand. Oh, fuck off. But I'm stuck with this, smelling like a girl in front of Jenna. I guess it's better than nothing. As I come back...
Chase, you might want to check your internalized misogyny there.
As I come back around the brush, I could tell something's off. Gigi meets eyes with me, then quickly looks down, frowning. I glare. I'd also be happier if we just joined in with Jenna and laughed at me instead. She's buried in her phone right now, which is annoying since she told us before the hike that phones weren't allowed.
All done?
She doesn't even look up, but points at the bag with her foot.
Go ahead and stick it back in the bag.
I sigh and bend down and shove the can back in there, then notice it's been zipped closed again. Without thinking, I zip it back and widen the gap and immediately find a big furry orange and black spider glaring out at me from the bag. I scream like a fucking girl and jump, dropping the can, stumbling back and falling flat on my ass as I trip over some rocks. I land on my tail wrong and send a jolt of pain up my back. Jenna was already laughing the moment I screamed, puts a paw to her muzzle. Only one though, because the other's holding her camera phone like she's filming the whole fucking thing.
Oh god, are you okay?
She's still smiling behind her paw. Fine. I guess I have a decision to make, whether to get mad or to shrug it off and laugh with them. I go with the latter and grin sheepishly. Wow, I would expect that from you, Jenna, but TJ, what the hell, man? TJ flinches, a sad look in his face.
She told me she'd throw it off the cliff if I said anything.
Jenna laughs again and puts her phone away before picking up the can and shoving it into the bag.
Success!
Where the hell did you even get that from?
The one rest stop with the souvenir shop. Hi, phone. All right, everyone done? Who is messaging me? I never get messages. I know you need to get some shots of the canyon chase. Let's go do that.
I sit cross-legged next to Jenna, a bit further back than she is, with her legs dangling over the edge of the cliff. I guess as someone who's so confident about her life and future isn't worried about falling the 80 feet to her death. It's sort of the opposite of Carl, but with the same result.
So I may or may not have been ranting about Echo to my mate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he just sent me a picture with the caption, "I'm doing God's work for you," talking to someone. They said, "That's some Doki Doki literature club shit right there. Don't compare me to that crap. Excuse me, but that game is legitimately really good. No, play Echo."
Yep. Oh.
It's actually good timing.
One day we'll get someone, when we tell someone about this, that will not react with, "Oh, like Doki Doki Literature Club."
Yeah, because it's fucking not. Oh, dear, it's such a bad, like, comparison.
I think because everyone knows of Doki Doki Literature Club, I think that's why it gets that reference.
Yeah, like, it's the only, like, dating sim horror that anyone has ever fucking heard of.
Yeah.
You know? It's like saying Simpsons did it. Almost, you know?
I mean, Simpsons have
yes,
done
of
pretty
course
much
the
everything.
Simpsons have done fucking everything, and, like, no one has any, like, other context for this kind of a game.
Yeah.
Like, again, Stephen King is a much better description, or like really good fan fiction, like the excellent kind that gets like a bajillion fucking kudos.
Yeah.
That's the only equivalent I can think of. It's not like fucking Doki Doki.
I mean, Doki Doki isn't really that good anyway.
It's not really all that good. Like,
I mean,
I've seen,
all they really do is they act a bit weird, and then blood starts dripping from the eyes and stuff, and it's just...
there's no characterization. Like, you're not going to get the slow descent of horror of watching Leo become a monster, you know?
No, it's like, this side I would actually describe as horror, whereas it's Doki Doki Literature Club just feels like it just misses something that makes actual horror, and it just kind of relies on you just kind of going, "Oh, here's the girl you saw earlier, she now looks a little bit fucked up. Oh," and you're like, that's really all the difference. Okay.
Yeah, like, there's no characterization.
No.
Not in the same way. Again, like, I'm gonna point at Leo's route, you know, like, yes, he does get more and more fucked up throughout the route, but it's small actions, like starting off in mostly a positive way.
Yeah.
And then the red flags start cropping up, and then he slowly gets more and more possessive as it goes on until he's literally monstrous by the end. And it is bad, right? He fucking ends up killing you while still being a manipulative piece of shit. Like, it is painful, you know?
Yep.
That bad route, that bad ending is still stuck in my head, by the way. I don't think I'm ever gonna get over that. I don't even like Leo. I'm not even fucking attracted. It's a fucking man. I'm not interested, but Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Good ending, though. Very good ending.
Yep.
Those two should never have fucking contact again.
Yep.
And Kudzu was a good boy.
Kudzu was a good boy.
Seeing him die fucking hurt, you know? TJ's route had more of like just a doomed tragedy about it, you know? In a different kind of a way. Like, you were the toxic piece of shit in that one. And it had a lot of like, let's confront your homophobia demons, you know?
Yeah.
Hi, queer person. You probably still hate gay people a little bit, don't you? Let's unpack that. Yeah. I would say Carl's route is probably the weakest so far. I liked the scenes with Carl.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he was possessed for most of it.
I mean,
which, yes, that's the arc, and it actually like it's his character arc, but also.
Yeah, I mean, the possessed Carl is like a different character from non-possessed Carl.
Yeah, and you don't get the cute, you know, romance with him and like chase throughout, which I think was the highlight of that route. They had a very good relationship.
Yeah.
There was nothing really toxic there. They just didn't work out, and they're still friends, and that's fine. You know.
Yeah.
And losing him genuinely made it slightly less enjoyable to play, I find.
Yeah.
In a way, and like, it did drag a bit. Like, there was just a lot of scenes of nothing happening.
As I said, I think Carl's was like a spiral, and it could just have done with 2 or 3 less spirals on the way down.
Yeah, it just needed a bit of a trim
Yeah.
more so than anything else. I wouldn't care if it was short, sweet, and snappy.
Yeah.
You know, it's
but-
not going to have the emotional gut punch that Leo is going to have.
Yeah, I
You
mean, if
shouldn't be
it
aiming for
had
that.
a little bit shorter in time, I think Carl's route would have been a lot better rather than, oh, we're back at this room again. Oh, well, let's do this. Oh, we're back here again. Oh, and I understand the whole it's trying to be like you're going through things and things are
Campy
slightly
gay horror.
Yeah, things are
Yeah.
things are slightly different, and it's the fact things are different. It's equivalent of like, you know, you walk into a room and it's a door in front of you, and there's a sunset out the window next door, and then you go through the door and it's the same room but the window's gone.
Yeah.
And you're like,
And like that's super disorientating when you're playing it, but
Yeah.
not so much when you're reading it. It's
Yeah.
a very difficult thing to write.
yes.
Like there are some books that do manage to pull it off. House of Leaves, for instance.
Yes.
And there is a Doom map that's gone a bit viral recently that does manage to do it.
Yes.
In the Doom engine, that's really good, called My House. And I've
Yes.
watched most of a playthrough of that and several videos on it.
Still just, I find it hilarious that someone has made the house from House of Leaves in Doom, in the map of Doom.
Well, it's not the house from the House of Leaves, it's the guy's house
Yeah.
that slowly morphs into things like the house from the House of Leaves.
Yeah. But it does
it's
things
interesting.
with the Dimension that Dimension is not meant to do.
Yeah, like the developers from that, from the actual original game looked at that model and went, "What the fuck? How did you do that?" It's just very well made, and you
is.
can genuinely see a lot of effort went into it. And in a similar way to Echo, to be honest, where you can see like a lot of a person's like life and genuine experience have gone into like writing the story for what it is. You know,
Yeah.
very different topic, very different endings. Still sort of almost a similar vibe. Like that might be the best description I have of Echo. Like if Echo was playable, like you could run around as Chase,
Yeah.
it would have to be kind of like My House in vibe, if not in gameplay. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. I get what you mean.
That was a very weird tangent we went on.
It was, but it was an appropriate one. Anyway, shall we
Yeah.
continue?
Yes. You know, one good thing about this place is stuff like this.
Hanging off the edge of a cliff. Oh, no, I don't want to quit. What are you talking about?
Please don't. Maybe save.
Yeah, let's just save to be sure. Save that one. Hanging off the edge of a cliff?
Lack of people. The mountains. I miss that.
What the fuck? Oh, it's 'cause, sorry, the cat's leaned on the mouse, that's what it is. Sorry.
I hear the mountains back east are small, like hills.
Sounds nice too. She picks up a sizable rock and tosses it off the edge. Listen to the clatter and the echo as it bounces off
I
the cliff.
will hear no slander for my ancient appellations. You know they extend to fucking Norway and through Scotland, right? You know those
I've not-
fucking Scottish Highlands? They're the same rock!
I did not know that.
Yeah, there you go. There's some fun facts for you. The Scottish Highlands are the Appalachian Mountains. Fuck you, America, for calling them small. I know the Rockies are bigger, but the Rockies are young. They haven't weathered yet. I like rocks, okay? I fucking studied rocks. I'm allowed to rant about rocks. Doesn't really matter, though. I've been living in a big city, way bigger than Peyton.
Are you nervous?
About living in a big city? No, I'm more anxious about getting started with school, actually. And of course I'll miss you guys too. A lot.
She flicks her ears back at TJ, who's flat on his back under a tree behind us, snoring lightly. I wipe my forearm across my forehead. The O's from the waterproof fur sliding nastily against each other.
Ugh.
Sorry, but I pull my shirt off. I need to let my shirt dry out, it's fucking gross. She looks over at me, then her silver and turquoise necklace catching the light and flashing briefly. Jenna looks perfect, of course. The fur on her face and arms is brushed with the lei held together with some sort of spray, probably. By comparison, they look like a soggy log covered in wet brown mould. I blush and look down, the bravado I'd worked up to take my shirt off dissipating under her gaze. She doesn't laugh, though.
I was wondering when you were going to take that off. It looked really uncomfortable.
Yeah, sorry I'm gross.
It's not gross, it's just what your body does to survive.
Jenna sometimes says things that I suspect carry a lot more meaning than what's on the surface level, but honestly, I'm too dumb to figure it out.
I actually kind of like that line.
I really hope my smell isn't overpowering the spray.
I like that line. I like the way she's trying to talk about like how you learn to cope, and it might not be pretty, but you cope. You know.
Mhm.
It's good. It's nice. But
Yeah.
I did the line.
Oh, sorry.
But
I'm in the middle of leaning to the side to see if I can catch a whiff of my butt musk when I jolt back up. Huh?
what was kind of gross is that there was another smell.
Oh?
Yeah. Did you pee on yourself?
Takes me a second to register what she just said, then it hits me, and this time I have to close my eyes out of shame. Of course she was going to smell that. Foxes can smell fucking everything. That's what happens to you. Sorry. That's fucking... Foxes can smell fucking everything that's on you that's happened in the last week. Yeah, I did. She laughs this time when I look away off into the canyon again.
I know it can happen. It just smells like it was a lot. Is all.
Oh, 1 second.
Blech.
Aye, fuck. Sorry. Cat's just getting in the way and I'm just trying to put him down.
Kitties. Bad kitties.
Okay. And just put this back in here. Just cancel. Just make sure it still works because it doesn't like sometimes when I change it. There we go. Sorry, carry on. I sigh and lean back on my paws, letting my head hang back. I debate telling you exactly what happened since it seems so childish, but it's not like she's being mean. She has a demeanour about her that just makes you want to talk. Must be that psych degree at work. I just saw something that scared me a little, so I jumped and I got some on me.
What did you see?
She lays out flat on her back, legs still dangling over the side with her paws behind her head. I guess so she can get a better look at me. I avoid looking right at her in case she thinks I'm staring. Okay, this is gonna sound stupid, but I just felt like I was being watched. You know that psych stuff. You know when you psych yourself up and everything looks scary?
Of course.
So I felt like behind me when I looked down I saw what looks like a face in some sagebrush. Just talking about it right now is getting my fur to prickle. I hadn't really thought about it since it happened, and now that I am, it's only now that I'm realising how weird it all was.
Huh. Like a face you recognised?
No, it was sort of flat, like it didn't have a muzzle and white. I looked back at Jenna. She's not looking at me. Instead, it's like she's looking past me.
That is weird.
Yeah, but it was a rock.
We're wired to recognise faces, so we find them in a lot of things.
That's why Jesus appears so often.
It is. Jesus in everything. Just all you need is the vague shape of hair and a beard.
Yep. Yeah, I mean the twigs and stuff were falling around it in a way that made it look like it had eyes and stuff. Then I realised what it was. But I jumped and got pee on myself, that's what happened. What's weird is that I was leaving and couldn't see it anymore. Sorry, when I was leaving I couldn't see it anymore. I said the last part with a laugh, most of the height how freaked out I am by it. When I look back at Jenna again I can see the fur on her neck is lifted a little. It's probably just the angle though. You alright? Jenna looks back at me and I can tell she's debating whether or not to tell me something. I wait.
Just made me think about when I was a kid. I hadn't thought about it for years, actually.
I pause. Do you want to talk about it? I'm worried I'm about to open up a can of worms.
It wasn't traumatizing or anything like that. Well, it was actually, but it wasn't real.
Did you see a face?
Yeah, not exactly like yours though. It was more of a red colour, but it was flat too. That's what made me think of it.
Whoa.
Yeah, it had a body too, but I can't really remember what it was like.
Did you dream it?
No, not really a dream. At least not in the sense that I was asleep when it happened. I just see it walking around in broad daylight sometimes.
What the fuck? Sorry, Cat's just pulled the keyboard down on himself again.
Oh, kitty.
It's because he's desperately trying to get back inside my t-shirt. Because he pulls himself out going, oh, I'm too cold, and then too warm, and then he has like 3 seconds, and then you can just see him go, nope, nope, let me back in. So yeah, that should be fine now. I unhooked my keyboard from behind the thing, so if he stands on my headphone lead, it shouldn't pull the keyboard down on top of him again. What the hell? Like, are these like solid real memories? Like what? Like it really happened?
I don't know. It usually happened when I was sad or angry, like when Dad was having one of his moments. I'd just see it walk past the doorway or sit in the closet.
Really? What the fuck?
This was a really long time ago, like when I was 5. I don't want you to think I'm crazy, Chase.
I don't. I saw things too as a kid.
Yeah, I think you told me.
I had, and it's something I really don't want to think about right now.
I'm pretty sure it's just something my mind made up because I was under a lot of stress. The brain can make up whatever it wants, really. It's part of the reason I went into the field I did. I want to help figure these things out.
Do you see it anymore at all? She's quiet for a while, then shakes her head.
No.
My phone goes off and then I jump with a little yelp. Jenna laughs and it breaks the tension a little bit, so I laugh with her. I know you said no phones, but you already used yours, so I think I get a freebie.
Hey, I had to record a reaction for posterity.
Looking at the message, I see it's from Leo. Where are you?
Fuck.
I stare at it for a second. It seems a little short. Usually Leo throws in a cheesy emoticons for everything. When he's not angry, of course. Jenna notices my expression.
What's up?
It's just Leo. Type out a quick response. Hiking with TJ and Jenna. And did we forget to tell you that? Almost instantly I get a response. Yeah, you did. He's definitely got something up his ass.
Wolf boy getting pissy?
Maybe. I can never tell with him. Jenna's phone goes off right then.
And speak of the devil.
Since it seems that she's inviting me, I lean over to read her phone. What the hell? I feel myself getting a little angry. What the fuck's his problem? Jenna gives a little playful smirk as she sits up, puts her phone away without responding.
Aw, he's jealous.
That gets me flustered for some reason. You think so?
That, and he probably wants us all to hang out together. Which we should, but we need some time away from to give Flynn another chance. Anyway, we should head back. If we want to start now, we can grab dinner by the diner by 6.
Jenna gets up and goes to wake up TJ, but I'm sort of lost in thought. I feel bad for Leo. Was he mad at me for not talking to him by the lake yesterday? After being out in the desert for so long, it feels absolutely amazing to be sitting in the air-conditioned diner. Having already ordered our food, I lean back against the booth, my eyes feeling a little heavy.
So, thanks for going out with me, guys. It wouldn't have been as much fun if there wasn't anyone to share it with. Of course, TJ. I had a lot of fun too.
I put in my affirmative as well, grinning. I'm sorry you guys had to put up with my slowness and smell.
Oh, stop apologizing for it. It's like you're a speciesist against your own kind. I'll be sure next time that we don't go on such a long trail. If there is a next time, I hope there is. Maybe. There's not exactly much else to do out here.
The thought of hiking again makes my knees weak, but I don't say anything.
So, Chase, I have to ask, have you been seeing any guys at Pueblo?
That question takes me by surprise and I pause, looking at Jenna. TJ looks surprised as well, but looks at me curiously.
It has been years since you and Leo were together. You two were pretty outspoken in all of your social media pictures.
TJ stirs from his initial shock at the topic shift and nods, speaking up.
Yeah, in comparison back in the day, you've been pretty quiet about that front.
I feel myself cringe inwardly in remembrance of all the kissing selfies and cheesy song quotes we'd post. Leo did most of it, but I was by no means innocent. As of late, I haven't really posted much. Most people who are still on my timeline just rant about political stuff. And as the two look on expectantly, I feel myself shift in the pleather diner seat uncomfortably.
Oh, it's like plastic leather.
Ah, right, cool.
Right, yeah.
Not really.
Oh?
Yeah, I guess after the relationship as long as Leo's, I've just kind of been focused on, adulthood.
Adulthood is difficult, a reasonable thing to keep you occupied.
TJ nods with a broad smile, his big ears flapping a little. Flapping? Flopping.
Flopping. Well, have you engaged in anything more casual since?
I feel myself blanch a little before recombobulating. TJ just looks confused, thankfully. I downloaded one of the gay apps for meeting guys. All it really does is make me feel like crap, though. I look sidelong towards the links beside Jenna. He gives me a curious look. People on there can be pretty specious. I see a lot of no mustelados?
Mustelides. It's like the taxonomic group that includes like otters and weasels and shit.
Ah, right, okay. No Orson.
Musty boys.
No Orson, no Musk types. Met up with a few guys, but it was all pretty awkward and I didn't go anywhere. Most didn't look like the profile picture.
That's awful. I can't imagine putting yourself up with that sort of thing.
He pauses and quickly holds his paws up defensively.
I mean, meeting someone new.
You alright? You just got out. Rowan?
I said the line, did you not hear it?
Yeah, you cut out after the word meeting.
Ah. I mean, meeting someone you like and like love organically, I think that's the word, is important. Well, Chase doesn't have any of that luxury. According to a study I read, 1 out of 25 people are gay. Then the chances of both parties having mutual attraction lowers the compatibility chances even more so. The online component is almost a necessity depending on one's region, Echo seeming to be the bizarre exception. Yeah, everyone is fucking gay!
See TJ's face shift to the guilty expression, Grey feeling muttering a quiet "oh" before taking a long drink of water. I uninstalled it though when I visited my parents over Christmas. I haven't had much of a thought to install it back.
I think you should reinstall it. I'm actually a bit curious what sort of results you'll get in Echo.
My mind reels back to 15-year-old me posting a Photoshop picture of myself on Peyton list mail per mail and the horrible aftermath.
Oh no.
I don't know, Jenna. Probably wouldn't get much anyway. Most results would be from Peyton 30 miles away. Plus, I'm pretty sure I already know the only result is going to be a certain shirtless Gilla.
Honestly, I hate to sound like one of those podcasts, but something has to be in the water here. First Flynn, then Leo, then you. I watched all of you grow up and turn out to like guys. I still remember you sitting on the edge of my bed sniffling about your parents finding out and how much of a deviant you were. Completely unaware that I had the same sort of conversation with both Flynn and Leo about a year earlier.
Oh god. Place my face into my palm. It is kinda weird, I guess.
But now you're officially bi, your horizons have expanded, yeah? I have to ask, have you been dating any girls?
I'm taken off guard, looking back up at Jenna. TJ stops gulping down his ice water. Not really. Actually, I mean, I guess you could say I lean towards male, but it's not like... I was about to say that I sometimes look at straight porn when I'm not in the mood, but that might be a little inappropriate for TJ there. Hell, it's probably inappropriate to say that in front of Jenna too. Do guys talk about porn in front of girls?
That cut out for you there as well.
Did it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't hear any of that line. It's fine.
That's fine, we'll do it again. Hell, it's probably inappropriate to say in front of Jenna too.
No, it's the one before.
One before, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say that that I sometimes look at straight porn when I'm in the mood. That's be it. A little inappropriate with TJ there. Hell, it's inappropriate to say in front of Jenna too. Do guys talk about porn in front of girls? I mean, I think I've discussed it in front of many people.
Yes, many people have. With me before I came out as trans. Yes, it's a thing. Some of it was fucking weird.
Yep. It's not like I don't notice girls. I finished the sentence lamely, but TJ just nods.
That makes sense. Well, have you ever slept with a girl?
Sorry, I'm dealing with the cat again.
Jenna.
TJ's face is going from cheerful interest to outright horror is so comical I start laughing despite Jenna's question surprising me as well.
Hey, this is how boys talk, right? I've been hanging out with you guys since 4th grade. Don't exclude me because I'm a girl. I don't talk like that. Yes, TJ, because you're a special, special creature.
Despite TJ's reaction, I'm not bothered by it. No, I haven't. I've kissed a girl once at a party, but that was it.
Do you want to be with a girl? Just to see what it's like?
Now I'm starting to get a little embarrassed. Whether TJ is more appalled or not, I can't tell since he's got the face buried in his paws. I don't know.
Just curious. I'm just wondering why I didn't pick up on this about you before.
Jenna grins, then looks at the window. I noticed then the way the sunset is lighting up the diner how pretty her eyes are. It almost looks unnatural the way they glow.
So I need to ask you a favour, Chase.
I stiffen, wondering what the hell it might be after that conversation.
I'm wondering if you could drive me to the mall. I want to get a few things.
Oh, sure, what do you need? Jenna hesitates, and for the first time today she's the one that seems embarrassed.
Well, you know in Plebbo we don't exactly have a great comic book shop, even though it's huge.
Oh yeah? I wouldn't really know. I never did go into that section of the mall.
What's especially lacking is the manga section.
I smile. I've forgotten the way
She's
that...
a fucking weeb!
I've forgotten the way that after getting her first job I'd drive Jenna to the mall once a week and she'd buy her favourite manga. Jenna's still not looking at me, but I grin. Yeah, it's like when we were in high school. Have you been keeping up on all those series? I remember being amazed at how much material was in those books compared to the comics, even if they weren't coloured. Jenna looks back at me and I can see that she's a little relieved. Did she think I was going to make fun of her for it?
I just keep with it. Yeah, I keep up with it online mostly. This is more for old time's sake. Believe it or not, the mall has some of the happiest memories I have of this place, aside from Leo's house.
Of course I believe that.
I guess there are a few special edition volumes I want to get that they might have. I was always surprised with what they were able to bring in.
Oh, that's cool. You know, I've watched an anime show since I saw you. Oh no, he's watched an anime show. Oh no.
An anime.
An anime. Oh no.
A singular anime.
Singular anime.
What do you bet it was? Like, if it was real life, I would say Attack on Titan.
It's probably going to
Like
be
when it
something
first came
involved.
out.
It'll be something involving mechs.
Yeah,
Giant furry mechs.
I haven't watched a lot of anime. Furry mechs is actually a thing
Oh god.
in some art.
The only anime I'd watched before Bellry insisted I got into Chainsaw Man was Hellsing, and that's because I'd found it in a pound shop DVD section and it looked interesting. And because I watched a
used to
fuck ton of
be,
cartoons. But I have
I
watched
used
a
to like
bunch since then.
Kakashi. That's an old memory. If you've never seen it, it's like a little shonen with like two kids at high school that are like, he's got a crush on her. He's really into like Western baking for some reason.
Yeah.
And they fight demons with boxes and weird like demon sperm dogs and I can't really describe the dogs any other way. It's like the head of a dog, but it's got a collar and then like a long wiggly tail that expands a little bit. One of them's even white. And like they go demon hunting and they capture them in boxes and like defend the school because there's something buried underneath and there's all like groups that are coming after them. I don't fucking know. I haven't read these since I was like 14.
It's totally fine. I mean, I remember, like, I have a habit of I was happy to watch any kind of cartoon for a while, and I watched the whole series 1 of Glitter Force, And Bellery was like, why the fuck were you watching that? And I was like, because it was a cartoon, and I was lying on the couch half drunk on Netflix, and it was on, and I was like, this will be brilliant. So I watched the entire season, and he's like,
What's that about, though?
Yeah, Glitter Force is basically, this girl goes to a new school, and she meets a small, like, I can only describe it as like a sort of different coloured Pikachu. Only he's like helping her. He gives out like weird glitter, like weird makeup stuff to her, and then she's got to recruit other people into it. So she walks up to someone and goes, "Oh, you're great at volleyball. You'd be great in the Glitter Force." And the friend's like, "The fuck's that?" And it kind of just goes from there, and they just recruit people in, and then it becomes the 5 of them fighting off weird demons and shit. It's fucking weird. But
Sounds like fun.
I got a laugh out of it. But Bellery was like,
Yeah.
Bellery was literally like a sort of punch some sort of saint when I told him about it.
I mean, nothing can ever beat the worst fandom I ever got into in my entire life. Nothing has ever topped my Hitalia phase.
Hitalia.
Even saying those words out loud, my god.
I don't
put
remember
a fucking
Hitalia.
bullet. So I'm gonna say one sentence in defense of it.
Okay.
Which is, it's still surprisingly funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good in like out of context compilations. The animation is shit. The character design is shit.
Yeah.
It is incredibly stereotypical to the point of like comedy. Like it somehow manages to jump the shark and like avoid most of the bad stuff and fall headfirst into I can't even take this seriously territory. And then it occasionally goes into like actual history for like one slide and then goes straight back to stupidity again.
Sounds
Unfortunately, the main characters are the Axis powers.
Ooh.
But like it kind of jokifies the entire thing.
Yeah.
And the fan base was weird.
Yep.
Like really weird. Like it was mostly just shipping the cute boys.
Yeah.
Which fair enough, I guess. You know,
I mean,
like there was a weird subset of the fandom that I do kind of still stand, which are like the actual historian people who then decide to write actual fucking history, but like personified nations, and that can be incredibly interesting.
yeah.
There was one I read that I still kind of like, to be honest, like grumpy age of 26, that follows Ireland's fight to become like an independent state.
Yeah.
Like getting into the history of the IRA and stuff.
Yeah.
But it does it with the Hitalia characters. And in particular, I like the way it has like England and Ireland's dynamic in that. Because they do an interesting thing where they take the vague history of a country and use it as like character backstory, like childhood, which technically is in the show, but it's not really. It's played for laughs constantly.
Yeah.
In particular, it kind of has with England is that you know how England was just constantly invaded by fucking everyone up until the colonialism started.
Yeah.
It has it as like England was like very, very young when he kind of disconnected with the Celtic side of the family, and he's half Roman as a result of the Roman Empire coming in. So he's this weird fucked up that's not quite in the family, and is just constantly being taken over, and it takes it as childhood trauma.
Yeah.
It literally takes the stance that like he is emotionally fucking stunted and desperately trying to off himself and just hurt other people instead of being hurt, which it actually kind of works.
Yeah.
You know, you're treating it as a character, which, yes, fair enough. And they don't fucking sugarcoat him. Like, he is a fucking monster.
Yes.
In it. Like, it's bad. They take Ireland's side throughout. Ireland, on the other hand, is just a fucking depressed wreck of a human, question mark. It treats, like, battles as, like, physical wounds that they take.
Yeah.
Like, the rebellions physically fucking hurt them, but, like, on one side, Ireland knows that he has to fucking fight anyway through it. Like, it goes into some shit. But because it follows through, like, World War I time when England's losing all the colonial shit, and you start getting like the modern sort of form of the UK, which is slightly less terrible.
Yes.
Slightly. It kind of follows like it's not quite a redemption, it's more of a healing from trauma part.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of coming into middle age and kind of slowly mellowing out and building bridges instead, and still being fucked up from the past, but still working to improve. Like it's interesting.
Yeah.
It is fan fiction, however,
Mm-hmm.
and it's annoying that the most interesting piece of historical literature from this fandom is literally a fan fiction.
Yeah.
I think it's called Rising, based on like the Easter Rising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like this side of the fandom, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're trying to do. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I have critiques, but I'm interested, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get to the rest of the fandom and the people doing Nazi salutes at conventions and
Yeah.
It's not good.
No.
Don't watch it, but if you do watch it while absolutely smashed out of your head.
I mean, the one Barry told me to, the one that was also on Netflix that I watched one episode of, that never touched again. Barry ranted at me for like 3 weeks. It was fantastic. He asked me what I didn't enjoy about it, and I said, well, what I didn't really think much of was the fact that it's a schoolgirl who has a pair of talking pants.
Yeah.
And this is meant to lead into thing, and that was Kill la Kill. And he was like, oh, but it's really good, it does this, it does that. And I was like, Barry, it's a schoolgirl with talking pants. And he's like, yeah, but it's a demon, it's this, it's that. And I'm like, Barry, it's a schoolgirl with talking pants.
Do you not see the paedophilia there, Belry?
Oh, Belry.
So, yeah. Anyway,
Like, Barry is the kind of fella who would just completely miss all of the subtext.
yeah, there's no subtext
and
there
be
at
like,
all.
the law!
The law is great.
It's why I'll never get into Chainsaw Man.
Oh,
I keep hearing it's good.
I read Chainsaw Man because Belry sent me it in German. And I went, why have you sent me it in German? And he went, oh fuck, I didn't mean to send you it in German. I'll send you it in English, you need to read it. So he sent me in English and I read it. And then I decided, oh fuck, I'll just pick up the other ones because they're all like 3-4 quid each. So I read all of them. I read like, I think it's 11 was the last one. I read all of them and I've watched the anime. And I'm like, I see where it's going and I kind of like how kind of weirdly fucked up it is. But the bits that Belry really loves are the weird bits that are just like, there's certain sections of things like, there's shit that's happened in the world that people have, there's something that's happened that's caused people to forget about them. It's like, you know how we talk about like certain things from like the wars and such like that these massive atrocities that have happened. And it's that people don't remember them now because this person or this creature has done something that's caused them to forget about it all and not remember it. And it's a fascinating idea, but most of Chainsaw Man is literally just like, here's some crazed violence, weird shit, and some kind of psychological fuckery. And I like the psychological fuckery. But yeah, Belry has tried.
It has no confidence in its own premise, and it has to constantly justify itself.
Kind of, yeah. But Belry's problem is Belry keeps trying to get me into anime, and I keep going, cool, sure. Like, he gave me a Junji Ito horror book, and I have no idea where the fuck it's going. I've lost it. But I got
Junji was actually kind of cool.
I got into it, and then during the last year's Amazon sale, I bought one of his other like collector-y books things, and I was reading that. And I told him I was reading that, and he's like, oh, right, great, cool, yeah. And then he sent me a birthday present, I think it was this year, or it was Christmas present this year, and it was another one of his books, but it was in Spanish. And I was like, Belry, why have you sent me this in Spanish? And he went, oh fuck, I meant to send you the English version. It's fine, I'll send you it another time. And he hasn't.
It's like German.
Yeah, but I have a collection now of foreign anime from Belry. I have no way I'm ever going to read.
Yeah, I kept trying to get one copy of the Kakaishi book 14 or something, and every time I tried to buy it, it was in German. And I had to buy like 4 copies of it before I finally got an English one.
Yeah.
So somewhere I have like 3 copies of Kakaishi Volume 4 in German.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm pretty sure I gave them to a charity shop, though.
Yeah. They're just... I mean, he gave me... I can't remember what it was. The... Tomi's the one I have, and there was another sort of big collector's-y book and it's the same series, and that's the one he sent me in Spanish. I still have it somewhere. I think it's Uzami or Zaki or something like that. I can't remember.
Exactly, yeah, the spiral one.
Yeah,
yeah.
But that was the one he sent me in Spanish, so I can look through it and go, great, it's in Spanish. I can't fucking understand it. At least the German one I could follow. Anyway, we've kind of gone on a massive tangent again.
That's alright. We're allowed to go on tangents. We don't do enough stupid fucking tangents, considering how often they come with an actual conversation.
That's very true. That's very true. And we're going to get back to this, and Chase is going to be talking about. It's probably going to be Kill the Kill. He's going to talk about. And he's going to be like, yeah. I watched an anime about a girl with her magical
make
pants.
up a furry one. It's gonna call it like Superwolf, you know, instead of Superman. It's gonna be like, you know.
Superwolf was already mentioned, but was that actually a film or was that a?
No, I'm pretty sure it's just Superman, but a wolf.
Oh well.
I think anyway. That's the vibe I'm getting.
All right. Well, let's
Oh,
carry
really?
on and find
What
out.
was it?
What was it? I can't really remember. Ichirone was a long title, but something about an old wolf guy that becomes a samurai.
Of fucking course it was. Oh, fuck me, I have to say those words.
Ichironian o Inuari? Don't know. Something.
Ikiro
Let's move on. She says it quickly in what sounds to me like a perfect accent. Maybe. That does sound about right. Jenna makes a face like she swallowed a lemon.
It is. It's the only old wolf samurai show I know. You gotta watch some of the older stuff. Anime these days is just, you know.
No.
Well, we need to do that as well. Like, one of these nights. We're gonna go to marathon with... Oh, fucking hell. I'm just gonna put it on second time. Gandatene. And the hotel Wi-Fi is good enough for that, I think.
Yep, let's just go full Italian for it. It'll work.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna speak Japanese in Italian accent.
That'll
That's
work.
gonna be absolutely fine.
It's got this sort of... Oh, it's you. Sorry.
Oh, it's got this sort of Western-style medieval atmosphere to it.
Well, I never really watched anime, even if whatever it was, wasn't so bad. The idea of staying up late with Jenna watching old foreign cartoons sounds like a lot of fun.
Wanna join us, TJ?
TJ looks up from his phone.
Huh? What? Do you want to watch anime with us? Sure, why not?
Oh no, we might corrupt him. Can't have that.
Don't corrupt the sweet Christian boy. Just stick on the nastiest hentai you can find.
Hey, no phones. I tease him, reaching for it and take it from him.
I thought that was only for the hike.
I glance over at the screen, expecting to see some sort of Christian social group or something, but instead it's a text thread from Leo. Yo, Tej, where you at? Hi, Leo, we're hiking. You going somewhere after that? Yeah, the diner. Do you want to meet us there? Is Chase going now? Yeah, he's here. Are you
reading my text? That's really rude.
I look up at TJ, who's glaring at me from across the table. I look back down at the phone. Alright, on me way. Leo's coming?
Yep, he's been messaging me all day.
Jenna and I look at each other, both our brows raised.
What?
But that's when Leo's van pulls up in front of the diner and I hear Jenna sigh loudly. Leo's bulky form bounces out of the truck, doing a little jog up to the diner. The bell on the door rings as Leo walks in, all smiles.
Hey, Leo.
TJ? Leo immediately squeezes into the booth next to me, almost sandwiching me between him and the window. Chase, what's up? He wraps his big arm around my neck and yanks me roughly into a hug, forcing a little squeak out of my throat. See, this is how it should be. We came here to hang out, not break into little groups and fight.
That was Flynn's fault.
Jenna says it quietly, eyeing Leo's arm around my neck. Yeah, well, I'm gonna get him to apologise. Things take a little bit of time, you know? Jenna doesn't say anything, instead choosing to look over the menu, even though we've already ordered. You have fun hiking? Leo turns his goofy tongue-out smile on me. I'm about to answer, but that's when his face changes and I see his nose twitching. You smell like a girl. His head snaps back to Jenna, who instantly oblivious as to what he's thinking. Sorry, instantly obvious as to what he's thinking. Jenna, who's looking up now, smiles sweetly, not trying to explain the situation at all. Leo tenses up, arm tightening around my neck, almost choking me. I forgot my musk stuff, so Jenna lent me hers. Leo looks back at me. I can tell he's trying to decide whether or not to believe me. TJ, though, for once, chimes in with something useful, cheerfully unaware.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Sorry, Chase.
He looks at me apologetically, but honestly, I could kiss him right now. Leo relaxes a little, but his ears are still pointed straight up, a sure sign he's still tense. Alright, well, next time you go, I'm coming too. Anyway, I'm planning Carol's birthday party tomorrow.
Oh, fuck.
What? That's like a month away. Yeah, well, there's not much else to do. Jenna leans back in her seat and folds her ears down.
That's really short notice, Leo. Couldn't you have told us about this before so we could prepare?
Well, I was planning to do that today, but you guys took off without telling me.
I don't have a gift.
Leo rubs his face. We've still got time to do that. Just want to tell you what's up. We chat for a while longer, then we get our food. Leo orders a milkshake and hangs out with us the whole time. Usually I would love to have Leo around, but something about this feels forced and awkward, and Jenna's gone pretty quiet. Leo doesn't let go of my neck the entire time. Possessive bastard.
Fucking Leo, man.
Wednesday.
Ooh. Hey.
He clutches the cell phone, the screen is shattered and the metallic innards exposed.
No texting. Let's talk.
But I can't.
Have you decided on what you're going to do after school? Don't worry about it right now. I've still got a few months to decide. Go into the bathroom, I'll be right back.
Despite being shattered, the phone in his hand lights up. I see something flash on the screen. It says, Jared, hey boy, where you at? I miss you. What's it say? Call me now? Or call him
Something
now?
like that.
Call from Jared. Who's Jared? Don't remember
I don't
Jared.
know.
That's fine. As long as it's not a character I've forgotten who it is, that's fine. Oh, fuck. I found myself panting, sitting upright in the bed of our motel room. My phone is vibrating against the nightstand. Reaching over, I grab it and hit the answer button, eyes still too hazy with sleep to read the caller ID. Hello? Hey? I catch a distinctive baritone rumble on the other end. Leo? That's me! You've just waken up. I thought you were going to film for your project before we hit the mall. Squinting at the screen on my phone, I see that it's 9:02 AM. Additionally, I realise that Jenna is staring at me from her bed, covers up to her chest and her laptop on her lap. The sound of running water must mean that TJ's in the bathroom taking one of his legendary long showers. I'm on spring break. I'm not really imposing too strict of a schedule on myself. I yawn, trying to snap my focus fully back into reality. Despite having slept for nearly 10 hours, I still don't feel rested at all. Lazy otter. Alright, I just called to let you college kids know that I'll be at the motel in about 10 minutes. Great. What? Nothing. Jace? What? I'm hanging up now. I need to put on some clothes. I'll see you. I set my phone back down the nightstand and slide out of bed. Still rubbing my eyes a bit, I dig to the duffel bag for a decent outfit. As I pull out a pair of khaki cargo shorts, I hear Jenna clear her throat.
You're still dealing with sleep paralysis?
Huh?
You woke up swearing pretty loudly. I'm surprised TJ didn't leap up from a shower to check on you.
I felt a twinge of embarrassment. Oh. It wasn't paralysis this time, just regular bad dreams and such. Also, Leah will be here in 10 minutes, so you might want to get dressed. I see her type something quickly up on her laptop before shutting it down. She slides it out of sight beneath the nightstand. I guess she doesn't trust the cleaning staff.
Do you still see a therapist?
Nah, I'm not sure the one in Peyton helped, and you know how things are at Pueblo. Everybody's got a mental disorder or something, it's trendy and no one takes you seriously.
That's just the stuff Leo says. They have free counselling services available running out of the psychology department. You don't pay all that tuition for money for nothing. You might as well use it.
Well, do you go? I slide on an old t-shirt with Southwestern Adventures printed on the front. The red dye having faded into the pink at this point.
No. But I don't suffer from hallucinations, sleep paralysis, or night terrors. Please tell me you're at least still taking the medication.
None of that helped, so no.
Chase.
I catch the look she gives me. It's different from her usual, almost paternal stare. Her brow is lifted and seems more just concerned, a glimmer of worry present upon her face. I find myself turning away from her abruptly as if I've just seen something I shouldn't have. Trying to keep myself busy with something, I take a bagel from her little communal sack of food on the table, eating it over a napkin. I can hear TJ at this point starting to dry himself off in the bathroom with a cheap motel dryer. It isn't exactly a full body machine like the ones back in Pueblo, so it takes forever. Especially someone furred like TJ. It turns into a damn puffball after a minute in one of those things. Meanwhile, Jenna busies herself with getting dressed behind me. I don't know why this feels so awkward. Usually Jenna is the one person who I can speak with and not worry about this sort of thing.
Wolf Boy is here.
Just a minute. I step over towards the bathroom door. Hey TJ, Leo's at the door. Hurry up if you can.
What?
Leo is at the door.
Oh, okay. Oh gosh, sorry, I'll hurry.
Glancing over, I see the door handle jiggle. It's still locked.
Not very patient, is he?
He never was. Knocking continues and I hear Jenna sigh. She moves to the corner of the bed to the door, unlocking and opening it. It's at this point I realise she isn't fully dressed yet, her body covered only by a pair of bra and panties. Leo starts to say something, but the words visibly catch in his throat as he realises Jenna's state of undress. His jowl is visibly thin along the contours of his muzzle, his auburn eyes flicking briefly to me, then back to the fennec in front of him.
You said you'd be here at 9:30, Leo. What's your problem?
Leo blinks. What was my problem? Why are you naked?
Because you wouldn't stop pounding on the door and I didn't want to deal with your creepy guy at the front desk yelling at us. Now wait outside like Chase said, I'll be a minute.
But shit. Jenna shuts the door. I stare awestruck, Jenna moving back to her suitcase of clothes and rifling through it.
Chase, you want to bring that snack bag with us to the mall? I think I have some peanut butter pretzels in there. Oh no, I'm gay.
It takes her only a moment to slip her familiar black tank top and shorts. She sits back on the edge of the bed, taking a small comb from one of the drawers and grooming her head fur, despite the fact it looks perfect already. TJ emerges from the bathroom, his fur not adequately combed and giving him a sort of lion's mane look that usually only punk guys go for. I smirk a little as I grab the bag of food, TJ frowning at me self-consciously.
I thought we were in a hurry. It's alright, TJ, don't worry. There's no need to rush. Don't we have to get Carl's birthday stuff before the party this afternoon anyway? Yes, but this is Carl we're talking about. He doesn't wake up until mid-afternoon. If we show up too early, he'll be too groggy to realise what's happening.
That's true. I'm not really sure how I feel about the whole early surprise party thing anyway. But it does give us an excuse to check out the comic book store at the mall, yeah?
I want to visit the music store. There's a new Cherry Bloom album out, and I'd like to get a physical copy.
He pauses, TJ seeming to be in the midst of trying to push down his excess fluff.
If we have time, I mean.
Jenna nods, picking up her phone and purse before heading to the door. We follow.
TJ has become a cat that you have to give a bath and then blow dry, and it's just... I'm just picturing the one time we had to wash Holly because she stank. She stepped in her own poo. We had to give her a bath.
Yeah, I remember having to wash my old Norwegian forest boy. Like
just the flooring.
You could put him in the shower and you just ported the shower ram and he would just stand there pathetically going, ah! You'd finish and he'd be soaking wet and he'd just be like, nah, and you just hold him back with like 2 fingers. Like, and he just doesn't understand how to get that out and he just looks at you with this pathetic face like, ah!
No, Holly full on was like clinging to the top of the tap because we did it in the kitchen sink with like warm water. We just kind of filled the sink up, and she kept trying to grab the tap and like claw her way out. And Jodie was there having a good cathartic laugh at me as I'm there trying to wash the shit off my new kitten.
Yep. Yep.
And just the scrabbling and the occasional coming from her.
Yep.
And then trying to towel dry her afterwards. Oh my god.
I thankfully haven't had to wash Mr. Loudcat yet.
Yeah, I don't think I could wash Junie. Junie would lose her shit and I would end my life. Like, if I was in a shower with Junie trying to wash her, I think she would actually fucking murder me for blood loss.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to get away.
Yeah. I don't think there would be a way I could actually wash the Loudcat without him. The problem is he was such a panic cat for so many years that I don't think he could.
Yeah.
He could deal with it, but I'm sure we could manage somehow if we had to.
Yeah, like Junie has actual fucking cat anxiety and keeps getting UTIs from it, so definitely not a good idea.
I'll get the bandage kit.
Alright.
I probably could train Holly because, like, she does not give a fuck about most things and could get used to it. Junie, no.
Yeah. Alright. All I'm saying is if it's real stupid that you all drive all the way back here just to hang out with each other alone. Even Carl and Flynn are sticking together by themselves, eh? You can all do that when you three are not on break. Leo stares ahead, poking his tongue against the side of his cheek, eyes squinted against the rising sun. His lecturer's answered with a resounding silence. Even TJ doesn't chime in. He clicks his tongue against the roof of his mouth.
This is primarily due to Flynn's behaviour, no.
You should put your pride aside.
Really?
Oh god. I see TJ slide down to the back seat. Leo insisted I sit shotgun, so I can't really hide as well. I'm saying that if you don't like Flynn a whole lot right now, he wins if he can't fucking get over his tantrums. If we can't get over his tantrums.
Flynn wins if we continue to put up with his awfulness. He's older than all of us and still acts like a child. He needs to apologize, to become aware that his actions have consequences. Ignoring the problem like this helps no one. That mindset is why I had you speak to Chase early on.
Oh god. You sure are insistent on that, aren't you? Sounding like you've got an agenda or something. I see the wolf glance sidelong at me, his expression briefly softening.
Why would I have an agenda to separate you and Chase? He's 21, he can make the decision on his own. I just didn't want to have to deal with you two prancing around it the whole time.
Would it be the first time, girlie? TJ's practically on the floor at this point, he's so far down his seat. Leo glances over to me, then I can tell my lack of response is starting to put him on edge. Honestly though, I have no idea what to say.
You two have decided on your relationship status, right? It's been years and you're still wearing that bracelet.
Come on, let's not have this talk while we're all trapped in a vehicle for the next 30 minutes. Don't worry, or I'm not going to drive us over the guardrail or something. At this point, that might be preferable to continue this conversation. Another silence follows. I can feel Jenna's expectant stare on the back of my neck. Finally, Leo speaks. I'm going to put on some music, yeah? Any preferences?
We don't get any stations out by Hillbilly Cavalade, but the Hillbilly Cavalade one's between Echo and Peyton.
Well, I've got a CD here.
Oh, fuck no.
My curiosity peaks. I see Leo look towards me, then nod at the glove box with a smirk tugging at the corner of his muzzle. I think I know exactly what CD he's thinking of. I pull the little clasp on the dashboard. Instead of a CD, a slew of balled up napkins falls into my lap.
Leo!
I don't think much of it until I spy the mostly empty bottle of water-based lube sitting in the glove box. Oh, gross. Leo looks over and his eyes go wide. Puta madre, fuck. He makes a sound somewhere between a sigh and a nervous laugh. I forgot about that. Jenna cranes her head to see what the fuss is about. She lets out an amused grunt.
That's nothing you haven't had your hands on before, Chase.
Ugh. Leo's ears seem dim right flushed at this point, pinned to the side of his head. Context is key, as they say, yeah?
Don't worry, guys. There's a trash thingy back here.
TJ unbuckles and reaches forward, collecting at least 9 balled up tissues in his paws. We all look on in horror. TJ, put those down.
TJ is doing God's work.
He's a lot of colds in this shower. The shower in this car.
Sure is empty. It is Wednesday morning. We're like the only car in the parking lot. Kind of spooky.
I ain't afraid of no parking lot. Leo smiled, looking back as if waiting for an applause.
Only thing that scares me anymore is college debt.
Makes me glad I'm not going to college then.
Oh, don't say that.
I catch up and walk alongside the others. Strange seeing all those parking spaces completely unused. Why not?
I mean, what if you want to make a career change?
I'll join the army. That way, if I do want to go back to school, it'll be real cheap with whole GI Bill.
It's unsettling that's the route so many have to take to get educated.
Isn't like I got a nifty tribal association scholarship. I decide this is a good time to interject. I hope this place is actually open. We approach the door, Leo looking back at us. Moment of truth. He tugs once, it doesn't budge. Feh, stupid thing.
It says push.
The wolf nudges the door open with one arm. Oh yeah, I know, I was just... TJ giggles.
Huh.
I remember this place feeling so much bigger as a kid. Nowadays it feels kind of claustrophobic. Might be Pueblo spoiling me though.
Oh geez, not very busy at all. Everything's shuttered.
Internet shopping exists now, Tej.
Oh yeah, I figured. It's just kind of sad is all.
The link steps off towards one of the closed shops, the perforated steel roller shutters allowing just visibility to peek in.
This used to be the mask shop.
I don't think Carl needs any more masks. Like she's got a secret bank rob in life we don't know about. Leo smiles lopsidedly. You know, you might actually want a lucha wolf mask or something. Remember as a kid, Carl always spouted off random wrestling facts. A fake kind though, and most sounded more like soap opera storylines than actual sport. I never really got into it. But it still was funny back whenever we were facing the same problem and Carl's trademark motivation catchphrase was to suplex it. Internet modem not working? Suplex it. Fishing pole all tangled in line? Suplex it. Having to deal with a bully? Suplex him. It was the only thing Sydney and him both got along over. They don't really make them sort of masks for ram faces, or? I don't think he'd actually wear it. It's more like a collectible.
He has enough of that sort of stuff already. His room's already a cluttered mess. He'd just be adding to the pile. Carl sent me a picture of it over Christmas and it looks exactly the same as when we did when we were in high school.
It reminds me of better times, I suppose.
Yes, but the issue is that he's not actually leaving his room to make some new better times for himself. He just dwells on nostalgia for video games that he hasn't touched since I was 12. Yard sailing a lot of the junk would do him some good.
Leo chuckles, rubbing his forehead. Happy birthday, Carl. Instead of giving you a gift this year, we're selling your shit. I see Jenna smile, letting a little amused huff before moving on. I realise that TJ is still standing in front of the closed mask shop. Hey, you coming? I see him bristle, startled from thought and pulled back into reality.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just knew a girl who worked here. I hope she's okay.
I know, I'm not really sure what to say in response to that as the feeling catches up to us. We pass even more shuttered shops. Most of the pagodas are still open, but they're mostly manned by really foreign dudes who are transfixed on their cell phones. I don't blame them either. In a place like this, the shift hours must drag on. I was fortunate enough to have a part-time job as a paid newspaper printer in high school, and it kept me pretty busy. Plus I got to tell people that I worked for a city paper.
Oh no, the music store is gone.
That's probably the least surprising closure yet.
I really like the physical stuff. My mum and dad sent me this vinyl record player for my birthday. My other doormates and I listen to it in the common room all the time.
Tease, you're an hipster now. I see TJ blink, looking at Leo a little wide-eyed.
What? No.
I don't know. Gatato. Terry Bloom was a pretty underground.
They're one of the top-selling alternative music artists of the 2000s.
Alternative is just another word for indie. Bet TJ has an aesthetic blog.
What?
I don't even know what that is, but yes, it sounds like something TJ would have. Jenna covers her muzzle with her paw, stifling her snicker. Usually she's the one to put a stop to any TJ ribbing going on, but I suppose this is light-hearted enough that she doesn't mind.
It's okay, Tej. I enjoy having physical copies of things as well, especially now I'm living alone at Pueblo. I don't have to worry about anyone going into my room and pawning my stuff.
She says this so nonchalantly, but I remember how horrible and common that problem was for her. Leo and Flynn helped her install a lock on her door, but then her parents just took the door itself away a week later.
I'm not looking forward to having to pack it all up to move to Weston, though.
I'll stop by and help you pack when the time comes. I say that with more finality than intended. It makes me feel a bit sad. It's like Jenna and I barely even hung out while we had the chance, and now we might never again.
That would be nice of you, Chase. Thank you.
I force a smile and nod. She perks a brow in my direction. As TJ and Leo have a back and forth about how many times the link has worn flannel, Jenna hangs back a bit to walk alongside me. She reaches over, gingerly grasping onto my waist. I feel her thumb rub against my forearm. It's like electricity. The fur stands up around my collar. At first I think she's just trying to get my attention, which she certainly now has, but her touch is more reassuring than firm. I watch Leo gesticulate wildly with his back turned in front of me. I can feel my heart thud in my chest. I expect Jenna to say something, but she's completely silent. God, I'm the guy here. I'm the one that's supposed to be taking charge of this sort of thing, right? Here I am, pink-haired like a blushing bride, having my wrist held by a girl. My nostrils flare some and I pull away, Jenna giving me an indiscernible look. I reach over and fully take her paw in mine, squeezing some. A wry expression comes across her face and I feel her hip bump into my thigh.
It's fine, Chase, you just need to transition.
She's so short, she certainly doesn't act like it in any way. The stereotype around meek Phoenix is completely untrue.
Oh, damn it.
She wriggles free from my grasp with surprising deftness, pointing ahead. Surely enough, Birchfire Comics is completely gone, the interior dark and empty behind a chain-link roller grill. She sighs, crossing her arms over her chest, her turquoise eyes shift sidewards. Shit, that sucks. I'm sorry, Jenna. She straightens suddenly, then walks ahead of me.
I'm going to go with TJ and find a bathroom to wash his paws.
I see her walk up beside the two in front of us. She nudges TJ, saying something to him and Leo before they move off in the direction of the food court. I can't believe TJ's about 20 years old at this point, still getting babied by her. Leo is left standing there, his paws in his pockets and his face devoid of expression. He looks back at me, putting on a tepid smile. Want to check out the family plex? I shrug non-committally. You guys said it yourself, there's no rush. A bit of realization of furrow my brow up at him. You heard that? He just maintains a smile and beckons me along before turning. So, despite being open, the plex certainly does look like it should. Despite being open, the set doesn't look like it should be. The carpet is musty, everything smells like mildew, the game machines are decades old, and the roller rink is scratched up to all hell. Leo stops next to the crop ice machine and fishes out in his pocket for quarters. What is an aesthetic block then? It takes me a moment to register what he's asking, and I can't help but be tickled by the question. I know for a fact that Leo spends a lot of time on the internet, but mainly on the mainstream sites, sports, music, that sort of thing. It's like an ongoing online page so you update with stuff sort of corresponds to a mood or feeling. He slides 2 quarters into the machine and then grabs the control stick. A few lights in the machine begin to glow and flash, moving in a pattern around the glass window. About half the bulbs are burnt out. Oh, I have one of those. You do? Yeah, but it's mainly porn though. He makes a lewd, jerking motion with the control stick, and I'm put a slight unease, noting that this machine isn't meant for children. Sorry, this machine is meant for children. Well, better than storing it all in your sample music folder, I suppose. I actually got caught with that, you know. Damn it, I told you. Yeah, Otter, I know. My little nephew Eduardo wanted to play games on my computer, and he started clicking around on the recent files thing. Oh god, Leo, he's like 10. He furrows his brow, moving the crane some absently. He's 13. His dad is your really religious brother too, right? Aye. Jesus. Aye. It nearly as bad as getting caught cock in paw by padres while watching Fox Horse gay porn. I cringe, covering my face. Yeah.
I know exactly what that's referring to.
What is that referring to?
Have you ever heard of a fox in the stable?
No.
Right. How to describe this? It's kind of a meme in furry spaces because it turns out if you are a gay furry in like the 2010s, early 2010s, one of the few videos there was on Pornhub was a CGI adult film, shall we say, of a fox guy and a horse guy getting it on in a stable. And it's called A Fox in a Stable.
Ah.
And it's kind of meme to fuck these days. Yeah. It's a reference to real world porn. The more you know. Da, 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 da. I was watching the Adastra video by Boring Keith on YouTube, and that's where he mentioned it early on. Either that or Beastars. It was one of those two videos he made. But yeah, there you go.
Oh well. Bam 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 bam. I'll just carry on. Hey, look. I put my paws away from my face to Leo pointing at something in the machine. I squint. In the midst of puzzle cubes and spinner toys, a boxed lucha wolf figure rests. Leo shifts his gaze towards me and grins. I see him navigate the crane perpendicular with the box's point of rest and hits the lowering button. Metal cord descends into a pit of cheap toys, clenching down upon the cardboard edges of the box. It tugs at it slightly but loses grasp and turns to the point of rest. Feh. Shit. Let me have a go. I reach into my back pocket for my wallet, but Leo's already putting 2 more coins in. He gestures to the machine and tips an invisible hat in my direction. I find myself rolling my eyes a little as I take position. Thanks. I decide this time I'm going to try and grab it from one of the corners. Might not be enough to pick up completely, but it will pull it from the rest of the toy pile for future tries. Speaking of, I tried to line up the crane just right, eyeing the dusty glass in multiple angles to get a good idea of positioning. Now that I don't have you so anchored down, or whatever the fuck you want to see it as, I pause my paw over the lower button. You let any other guys fuck you at Pueblo? Any big stallion types like the one in your porn? Tone in his voice is definitely one I hadn't heard in years. Seems to carry extra intense edge. Christ, Leo, no. You haven't had sex in 3 years? You must be really pent up, huh? He laughs breathily. I exhale, trying to keep my nerve. I go ahead and press the button. The crane lowering the claw down once again. You don't have to lie to me, yeah? I just want the truth. Claw pushes at the box. Pushes the box down further. It seems to have different levels of how low it starts grasping. However, it doesn't seem to grasp this time. The crane just keeps lowering the claw. We can't even see the figurine anymore. Not that Leo is paying any attention. If you like girls now, you can tell me. I feel him now, his thighs against my behind, the familiar firmness against the small of my back. I stare at the machine. The claw still hasn't come up yet. Leo. His paw takes my hip. Could you fuck off? What?
Wow.
Leo's paws are off me now. The wolf turns to face the others. How long have you two been there?
Long enough.
I was just trying to...
I thought you were better than this sort of behavior, Leo.
This was a private conversation, eh?
That Chase clearly didn't want to be a part of.
Well, I didn't know that. Not till just now. He looks back at me, his eyes wide and his shoulders are raised up high, the wolf visibly tense. I'm still reeling from what just happened, from Leo's behaviour, from my own words. I say nothing. He sucks in his jowls, trying to put on a smile. We just found a present for Carl in this crane machine here. A lucha guy, yeah? TJ leans to peer inside the machine.
I don't see it.
The claw and crane are back at the starting positions. Yeah, well, Julie here beside me must have buried it somehow.
Buried it?
You know what I mean, Teach. He shrugs, visibly not knowing what Leo means. Jenna gives Leo a look that I don't quite catch before stepping up to the machine. She squints, looking over the pile of toys.
No, I see it. That green and purple cardboard thing in the middle of the Mothman plushie.
She reaches into her purse, shifting through it for the moment before finding 2 quarters. We all just sort of stand there staring at her as the lights flash around the window, illuminating her features with a golden glow. She fiddles with it a lot longer than I did, 30 seconds passing before she actually hits the lower button. The claw descends, pushing through the muck of plush and plastic. The sounds of metal scraping on the box is audible, even though it's difficult to see what's happening. Out the corner of my eye, I can see Leo's facade of a smile is completely dissipated. He looks at me though, his gaze is unfocused. It's like he's trying to numb himself, but it isn't working. The claw finally lifts the metal prongs, clutching the central mass of the figurine container and carrying it to the drop slot. With a satisfying clunk, the box falls into the crane. Falls in, and the crane returns to its default position. Leo's form stiffens. He stares at the machine, Jenna, and then me again. He crosses his arms, and I see his face start to shake, his eyes clenched shut. I'll be in the fucking van. As he leaves, Leo smacks a nearby pinball machine so hard the glass cracks. TJ just stands there with his paw behind his head, maw agape.
And so the real Leo reveals himself. Oh my goodness.
TJ walks over to the pinball machine, bending down to gather what splintered glass there is in front of his shirt. I watch Leo trudge off around the corner, though I can still hear his heavy footfalls for a while after. I wait a bit just to make sure he really is gone. Jenna, meanwhile, steps up, handing me the boxed figurine. So, is there a crappy boardwalk game that you can't beat? Despite what just happened, I see a flicker of a smile tug at the corner of her lips.
Well, all you have to do is hook the claw where the cardboard meets the plastic.
Her gaze shifts from the broken glass to the tacky carpet on the crane machine.
That way it gets latched in the grooves of the box and it doesn't drop. I had a lot of practice with my summon job, but you did most of the work for me by putting it into position. Good job.
She moves past me, patting me on the back before kneeling down beside TJ and helping him clean up. I turn to face her again. You should be the one to give it to Carl. After all, you're the one who won it for him.
No, then I'd be a hypocrite after what I said earlier about his clutter problem. He'll like it from you, though.
Yeah, I guess.
We should probably hurry up before someone besides us decides to visit the mall.
I peer around, checking to make sure we're the only people in here still. I see a coffee machine sitting on. I see a coffee sitting on the service desk. So whoever's managing this place today might be back soon.
And before Leo decides to drive off without us. He wouldn't do that.
TJ gathers a glass from his shirt and places it in the small pile on the bench nearby. Jenna does the same.
Yes, well, I'd rather not tempt the odds or potential 30-mile outside the city limits cab fare. Should we leave some money for the pinball machine repair? No, TJ, it's alright. None of us should have to deal with Leo's mess more than we already have.
I rest my head against the passenger window as I balance the cheap fast food place red velvet cake in my lap. This is one of the most awkward car rides I've ever been in. Everyone is completely silent. TJ's previous attempts to lighten the mood have been received with idle grunts and nods. My stomach hurts and I have this nauseous feeling that keeps bubbling up when I think about what happened. Leo and I have squabbled in the past, sure, but never like this. Most of the time we fought about video game shit, politics and sport. Worst I ever got was when the topic of leaving Echo comes up. I danced around answering it for as long as I could, and then the truth came out in the worst way possible. But now is different. I never felt such contempt for him before like I did when he pressed against me, interrogating me like I belonged to him. He probably thought I'd just bend over against the crane machine for old time's sake. Watching him from the corner of my eye now, I see him trying to keep his ears up, but they keep pinning back down. I'm stuck in this shitty feeling of being pissed at Leo and ashamed of myself. He shouldn't have acted that way, but I know I just hurt him in a manner that I haven't done in a long time. Being stuck in a car with someone who's thinking about you and you're thinking about them and you're both hurting is hell. I really wish I brought my headphones. I stare at the window as I roll down the first dirt road to Echo. Every street, every corner, every trailer, every tree has a memory attached to it. There in the middle of the dusking parking lot that belonged to the corner market is a tiny stand. That used to be where I'd get ice cream after begging for $1 from my parents. It's crumbled and boarded up now, the paint peeling off in tiny chips. And there in front of Duke's house is a big flat rock that Jenna was standing on when she told me she was going to run away from home. I can still remember almost exactly how she was silhouetted against the red sunset behind her, and the old train yard where I kissed Leo for the first time after staying up all night at our first real party. I look over at Leo. He's got one hand on the wheel, glancing up at the rearview mirror occasionally. He hasn't said much. Hasn't so much as looked at me since the family plex, though I see him staring at Jenna now. She catches his gaze, somehow returning it with an even more curt look.
Carl probably still isn't even awake yet. Do you have a plan if he doesn't answer the door?
We'll call him then.
And what if he doesn't answer his phone? Will you shatter the window too?
Leo's muzzle pulls a snarl, and I hear him muttering something I can't quite discern. He shifts focus back to the road, his knuckles tight on the steering wheel. TJ gives another go at trying to fill the silence.
Well, I don't think this will go too badly. It's just like we're hanging out again, nothing wrong with that. I agree, TJ. Though I do think this is perhaps a bit poorly planned. It should be alright. It should be an alright time. I haven't been to Carl's in so long.
The car starts slowing down and I snap out of my daydream to look up, knowing that we definitely weren't at Carl's house yet. That's when I see a canine figure standing front. I forgot about Janice!
Everyone forgets about Janice, and then she pees in front of us again.
That's when I see a canine figure standing further up on the side of the road. She's standing in the dirt that separates the road and the field in front of a broken and rusted barbed wire fence. I think that's Janice. I look over at Leo and he seems concerned. His brows furrowed and he careful steers the car right up next to Coyote. I can see why. She's crouched over, elbows on her knees, staring at the ground. Roll down your window, Chase. I do as he says, struggling a little with the old crank handle.
What is she doing out here?
We came to a stop next to Coyote, kicking up some dust. I don't know. Hey. TJ rolls down his window as well, waving.
Hi, Janice.
Leo leans over me and looks out at her. She's still looking at the ground. Everything all... Leo's voice cuts off in a weird choking sound. Looking at him confused, I then look back at the window and can't help myself but gasp. It was hard to tell from the angle and all the dust kicking up by the van, but now I can see Janice has her pants down around her thighs. I can also see everything else. I sit back quickly and avert my eyes, looking out the windshield instead.
Is she... Oh my god, Leo, keep going.
Jenna whispers, her voice strained. Oh, sorry, Leo stops talking and I chance a glance out the window again. Janice is looking at us now and she's smiling. It's a weird smile because it isn't touching her eyes. It's unnerving. Leo stares back. Leo, let's just go. I hiss out the side of my mouth, staring out the windshield again. But he seems reluctant though, looking concerned. Janice, do you need some help? His tone is one you might use with a toddler or a crazy person. I don't hear her say anything except maybe a grunt. Leo bravely keeps trying though. We can give you a Leo stops talking in time for me to hear a pattering sound, a sound I recognise well from being a kid pissing in the dirt roads of Echo. The van lurches forward, then resumes a smooth acceleration back onto the empty road.
What in God's name?
I don't know. Leo's frowning, looking as confused as I've ever seen him. Should I go back?
No.
I look back and see TJ covering his face.
Maybe. She could be having some kind of psychotic episode. Maybe she just really had to go. I'm like that after a ton of caffeine sometimes.
TJ, I'm fairly certain you haven't peed yourself in front of anyone since Mrs. Miller's Thanksgiving play. And you certainly weren't smiling at the audience while you were at it.
Please don't talk about that now.
I don't think so. Do you see the way she looked at me? She's probably just on something. Isn't everyone? No, she don't do stuff like that. Well, maybe she does. You never know with people. Again, Leo doesn't say anything and neither does anyone else. We don't go back.
And he's not here.
Leo slaps the doorbell again. Leo slaps the doorbell again, frustration etched across his face. I shift the red velvet cake in my grasp, trying to hold both it and the lucha figurine. I really wanted to do more shopping after the incident Jenna, TJ and Leo and I had just bought Peyton fast food as gifts. Carl doesn't get out to painting much, so the three took it upon themselves to buy 3 different locations. Leo got a couple of large and juicy vegan burgers. TJ got some tofu tacos that are made from natural cheese chips, and Jenna got him a bread bowl.
That actually sounds fucking banging.
I squint, trying to look through the frosted glass on the sides of the door. Maybe he's just getting high?
You should still be able to hear.
I mean, maybe he just doesn't want to? TJ holds up his phone.
He's not answering his phone either.
Neil locks on the door hard, his bicep bulging.
Sorry, glass is cleaning.
It's alright.
Yeah. I could be studying. Chase could be finishing his project. And you and Flynn could be at work right now. Instead, we're doing this.
Flynn leans back against his truck a couple of yards away, briefly canting his head in Jenna's direction as his name is mentioned. You know, I may be remiss to mention this, but you were all 6 shades extra bitchy today. Leo stands back, pausing his waist as he takes a deep breath. His eyes have sheened, bleary quality to them. Anytime Jenna speaks, it seems like he's wrought to near twitching levels of anger. All of Leo's plans seem to bring everyone together have the opposite effect so far. Do they lock their windows?
What?
Leo growls. It's not like we're breaking in. TJ's ears pin back, a frown in his face. The wolf puts his fist to his forehead, closing his eyes. I think he's just asleep, and it should be too hard to get in there and wake him up. I look over at the sides of the house and see a window well. I point at it. What about that? Too small.
I could probably fit.
She hops off to the front porch and crouches down next to the window, pushing at it.
Wait, there's a security sticker here.
Jenna hesitates, then pushes at the window again, but doesn't budge.
Locked.
Then try the one above it.
That's too high.
I think this is going a little too far. I'll boost you up.
Think you're strong enough for that?
Well, you look like you've lost weight recently. Jenna turns, giving me a quizzical expression. Smooth. She does smile after a moment, looking more bemused than anything. I see her bushy tail flick some behind her.
You know, some girls might take that as an insult.
Are you one of said girls?
No, I get the meaning of your words, and that's where it's flattering, regardless.
Oh, well, good, I guess. What the fuck is happening? I set the cake.
He's responding to a slightly straight moment.
I set the cake and figurine down in the gravel and move behind Jenna, cupping my paws together in front of me for her foot. Steadying herself with her paws against the wall of the house, Jenna steps into my paws. Slowly I push up, feeling my muscles strain beneath my fur. Fucking hell, this is so fucking stupid. There is a light click as I see Jenna pushing up the top window with ease. Good, now I'm going to try and push you all the way up, alright?
Your arm's doing okay?
Yeah, I'm peachy. Her tail flicks again, I get a mouthful of fur.
Sorry.
Like we're some kind of cheerleading duo, I shove Jenna as high as I can with both paws. She grabs the ledge and I feel the weight burden lift as she dangles against the side of the house.
Careful, don't fall.
Her bush tail is the last thing we see until she pokes her head back through.
Kitchen. I fell in the sink.
Alright, well we'll lock the door now. She disappears again and make her way back to the front door. Leo, why didn't you help? You're a fucking muscle here. If you don't shut your fucking mouth, Flynn, I'll use my muscles to kick you right in your vag. Sound good? Jesus, come here. Leo turns on him with one foot in front of the other. Flynn shuts up. TJ meanwhile with his eyes upon the wall in front of him. Usually he's all smiles and regaled like this, even though the swearing and crude stuff. Right now though, his eyes just look sort of vacant like earlier in the mall. Finally we hear the door rattling and it opens.
Called his name, but he didn't answer.
Well, he's gonna be here. Not that he can go anywhere or would want to. I pick up my stuff and head inside. Carl's house is so massive and immaculate that Carl's house is as massive and immaculate as I remember it. It's a mansion after all. Well, maybe less immaculate than I remember. There's a few wrapped papers and pizza boxes on the marble counter. I assume that's because Carl's parents aren't here to tell him not to be a slob. Flynn immediately heads up the stairs. Yo, Carl! Jenna stands by the kitchen, her paws on her hips as she looks around.
Strange being back, isn't it?
Like in general, or... She shrugs. Carl! You hear the others scampering around the kitchen, Leah moving up to the backyard. Gigi, meanwhile, checks the garage. She pulls out her cell phone, tapping it a few times. It is very faint, but I can hear a distant vibrating sound somewhere in the house. Jenna turns and I follow, stepping past the spacious living room. I didn't know it was possible, but it looks like Carl's parents got an even bigger TV since I was last here. Carl's room looks pretty damn similar to how I remember it, though usually he makes a mild effort to pick up after himself when I'd be coming over. There's so much dirty laundry and trash scattered about I can hardly see the carpet.
God. It smells like Leo's glove box in here.
I wonder why. Jenna gives me a slight scrunched nose look, pauses, then nods acceptingly. She pulls out her phone, calling Carl's number again. This time the vibration is much closer, a rattling sound audible as the device vibrates against a wood surface. Still, it sounds kind of muffled. It sounds like it's coming from one of his drawers. Oh, sorry.
It sounds like it's coming from one of his drawers. Ordinarily, I'd be vehemently against rifling through someone's personal stuff, but this is a special circumstance.
I'm not going to stop you.
Also, I need to go in a bit. I have work.
Oh, that is fine. Just
In
let
the
us down.
morning. Yeah.
Shall we get to a stopping point, or do you want to stop there?
Get to a stopping point.
Okay. Jenna starts pulling open drawers in the dresser while I check out the desk. I feel guilty doing it, but there's a sort of thrill to be had in snooping around like this. I start stumbling on the old comics that I'd given Carl myself back when we were kids, the corner dog-eared to all hell. The next drawer looks to be chock full of portable gaming systems, including all those cartridges just scattering around. I remember every day on the bus I sit next to Carl just to play because his parents had bought him all the expensive devices. I'd always guilt him by saying he could play at home whenever he wanted, so he'd usually let me play the whole ride to Echo, from Echo to Peyton.
Find it yet?
I blink, then shake my head, checking the next drawer. No, but... Well, that's a flashlight. A butthole one, too.
What?
I shut the drawer, trying not to think about it too much. Nothing.
Well, I found it.
I spin around, moving to Jenna's side. It looks like she grabbed it from somewhere wedged between Carl's bed and the window. Does it have a lock on it?
No, it doesn't.
Carl's parents have always been really good about respecting privacy, yeah?
How fortunate for him.
Jenna swipes to the messenger tab, though for some reason she now keeps the screen out of sight of me. Her brow raises at something, then she pauses. What is it? She quickly shakes her head.
Nothing relevant.
She returns to tapping around again. I can hear the others still calling for Carl, so I guess they haven't found him yet. Again, she's rocked to pause. Are you gonna tell me what's up this time? She stares.
So, apparently Carl took a picture last night.
There is a disconcerting look in her eyes, which tells me there's something different from another picture of Carl's ass. Oh, okay. She holds up the phone for me to see it.
Huh.
Hmm.
Huh.
Hmm.
Huh. That's unsettling.
Hmm. I stare at the sunlight reflected in the ceiling above me. Its pale, golden hue is gradually shifted to a more amber tone as the dusk nears. We showed up at around what? 2ish? Yeah, usually I would be at work, but I took time off for Leo's party plan. A patter of Flynn's feet is audible behind me as he paces back and forth on the tile floor. Glancing over the edge of the couch, his gaze is fixed upon the ground in front of him, the phone cupped against the side of his head. What? He's in the kitchen now, using your coffee machine. All the old gang is here. To repeat, the alarm wasn't armed. Carl usually doesn't set it. We got in through the top window above the kitchen sink. Flynn points towards the aforementioned window, despite currently explaining it to the phone. Leo stands motionless in front of the kitchen window, facing away from us. Well, Jenna did, then unlocking the front door for the rest of us, which wasn't my idea again. Place is kinda messy, but we didn't see any signs of anything broken into. Jewelry above the bedroom dresser? Give me a sec, I'll check. Speaking of which, here she is. Flynn hands the phone off to Jenna before heading upstairs again. Jen crosses her legs and stands up, slightly pausing for a moment. She listens to Carl's father on the other end of the line.
Yes, Mr. Hedderix. It's been a while since we've last spoken. 5 or 6 years, actually. I go by Jenna now, yes.
Instead of pacing her out like Flynn, she moves over towards me and she rests herself against the arm of the couch by my head. Her expression shifts some, but I can't see much due to the sun glaring coming from the windows and the angle she's above me.
My brother?
Actually, oh, sorry.
Actually, yes. When I went through his phone, it showed me that they had texted earlier. Yes, it does appear Carl was buying weed from him.
She's quiet now. Listening, I can hear Carl's father on the other end now, meaning his voice is a bit raised. I turn on my side, prepping my head up with an elbow on the armrest and attempt to read her expression. Jenna doesn't appear phased. She doesn't look at me either.
Mr. Hedderix.
Voice on the end of the other end continues. The high-pitched rasp of Carl's father's voice is still audible a minute later. There's pauses in what he's saying, but Jenna doesn't interject. Finally, there's a pause of around 5 seconds where I can hear a quieter "Are you still there?" coming through.
Yes, Mr. Hendricks. At the time, I'm going to file a missing persons report with the county sheriff's office, citing the image I sent you from Carl's phone.
Looking over, Carl's phone sits up on the copy table, a red-eyed image still displayed. Something about it seems so familiar, yet exactly why escapes me. It's fleeting deja vu. Makes me uneasy, even without the context of our current situation, which makes it worse.
It hasn't been a minimum 24 hours, but as you said, the fact that his phone, wallet, and all your other vehicles are accounted for is worrisome.
She waits, listening.
I'm going to tell the police that we were given the go-ahead to come and go from the building during the week. If you could confirm that when the sheriff's office calls you later, that makes things easier on us while we keep up the search effort. Do you and Mrs. Hendricks have any recommendations on that front regarding where he could have gone off to?
She reaches over and I feel a paw move beneath my tough chin. My fingers squitch along the jawline, my eyes begin to lull. I don't know why I'm still so tired. I look up at her, though her gaze still doesn't meet mine. She continues to pet me, eventually reaching up to ruffle my head scruff. It rouses me from my lulled state and I blink up at her. She covers the foam with her free paw, muttering to me.
Hey, wake up. Can you go see if TJ made any progress upstairs?
Oh, yeah, sure thing. Hearing the telltale thuds of Finn's heavy footsteps gate on the terracotta stairway, I glance up. He returns, shaking his head. Shit's still there. Jenna nods, seeming to ignore the now strange look Nikoli has given us, so I sit upright. I think Mr. Hendricks is giving us some advice of where to look. Jenna again nods in confirmation, though Flynn still peers at us with a furrowed brow. Were this any other time, I'd have some shit to say right now. He sighs, nostrils flaring. I lean forward, taking hold of Carl's phone and peering at the image again up close. I'm going to check out some of his messages myself and see if I can find anything.
Asshole. Some gay honor, I don't know. Leo, Mom. Leo.
The cell phone is plucked from my grasp, Finn standing above me. Jenna and I already looked through that. Now you're just wasting time by being a snoopy shit. Flynn's emerald gaze briefly flicks to Jenna, then back down at me. Surprisingly, Jenna nods in agreement, then motions to the stairs.
We got this, Chase. Like I said, go see how TJ's progress is going along.
She looks to Flynn with some sort of stern, knowing expression before responding to something on the phone.
Well, the convenience store is a few miles from here. Does he usually walk that far?
My cheeks burn at the scolding and I rise to stand. Turning to leave, I can still see Leo standing unmoving in the kitchen. It's like a photograph, a still image silhouette in contrast to the fading sun through the window. It's weird. Usually Leo's the one who jumps into action in this sort of situation, or at least he did when we were kids. De facto group leader and whatnot. Now though, since we found out Carl was missing a couple hours ago, he's been pretty resigned. Hell, Flynn and Jenna have been the ones coordinating everything so far. He glances over his shoulder, the first bit of movement I've seen him do in about 15 minutes. I can see his red eyes from here, he's staring right at me. I find myself walking over despite myself, Flynn and Jenna busy talking to Mr. Hendricks over speakerphone now. I enter the kitchen and approach him. Shall we take it from there next time, or do you want to keep going?
Take it from there next time, because I can't be up too late.
Yeah, that's fine. I just was trying to find a point where it seemed to stop, but that seems to be the best one we're going to have. So yes, let me just save this one. At least also we've not had any choosing points yet, so that does mean it's
Yeah.
another 2 and a bit hours we won't have to redo when getting different endings.
Yeah, how are you feeling about this route so far?
It's only seems to be very slightly different from previous ones, but it does seem interesting.
I know it ends pretty different, but
I mean, at this stage, it's still very much going through the sort of same Tuesday, Wednesday that we seem to have had most
yeah.
most experiences so far. When they
Yeah,
get to
and-
Carl's house and Carl's not there.
Or
Yeah.
he's in the crawl space, or
Yeah.
something has gone wrong. Yeah.
So yeah, we will continue this. If I don't have a Halloween thing for it, we'll continue this on Monday. So yeah, that will be that. What's your thoughts on it so far?
I'm actually quite liking it. I like Jenna's character a lot more than I thought I would. Like, we need a level-headed character after the amount of just gay stupidity we've been through.
But gay stupidity is what the game's about, Rowan.
It is about gay stupidity, but we need some bisexual stupidity to liven it up a bit, you know?
That's very true. It's a different type of energy.
Yeah. And again, she showers frequently. And has tits, that kind of helps on my end.
Yep, can't fault that.
Also, you see Leo in a much more monstrous light from a very early beginning.
Yeah.
Like, Leo, don't do that. That's sexual assault, Leo.
Yeah, it
Jesus
very much
Christ.
feels like if you hadn't done Leo's route before this, you would have a very different look on him.
Yeah. You definitely get a different side of his horribleness. Because, like, you're not in a relationship with him this time, so it's not affecting you as personally. Like, he's not able to isolate you.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of less of him possessively controlling you while being incredibly sweet.
Yeah.
Also, Jenna is just a good character, and you get more Flynn. Which, yeah, we need Flynn. We need the autistic lizard.
We do.
Yeah, he's a good character.
He is.
But yeah,
But yeah. So yeah, that will do us for Echo today. As I said, we'll be back more of this on Monday. Our other streams tomorrow night will be more indie horror. Friday will be more Distrust with myself, Tom and Zeph. Then afterwards, I think is some Sons of the Forest with myself and AJ and anyone else up for it. Then Saturday is a Halloween recording. It's with the fine folk from the South African D&D podcast Dum Dum Die, who we have known for many years, and they are wonderful people, and they did last year. So again, it should be a unique brand of craziness. It should be interesting. Sunday will be Dark Tide, which is our Dragon Age TTRPG, and then next Monday will be more Echo. And then next Tuesday will be a late night Halloween episode because it will start at like 1 a.m. for us. But yes, that's what's going on next Tuesday as well. So yes, that will do it for us. Who do we know that's on? Let's have a wee look. We know we could roll a Decide Check Gaming again. They are doing their Witcher story, a part 2 of it. We could roll into Click. I should get to rate Click very often, do we? Should we rate into Click?
yeah.
Let's
Make
rate
for a
into Click.
nice change.
Yeah. Alright. Well, that's who we'll read into. So yes, thank you very much, folks. I wish you all the best the rest of your week. We will catch you all next time. Until then, you all take care. Have a great rest of the time. And we'll see you all next time.
Have a good one.
I'll just be a second until I find the right person.
Yep.
Where is he? That's the right person, right? Yes, it is. Alright.
Friendly.